Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Tim Tebow signs with the Jaguars. What does that mean for Urban Meyer and Jacksonville moving forward in 2021? Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram at NW Sports Fanatics. I'm back, and I'm back again. Let's talk some motherfucking NFL. A lot has transpired since last week, so I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of film study, checking out all the teams from the NFC South. When you have guys on PFF talking about, is Tyreek the Freak Hill the best deep threat of all time? He got fucking roasted. I was watching Pat McAfee's show. Have we forgotten about Randy Moss and some of the better NFL superstars that came before Tyreek the Freak Hill, as well as just trying to find out what Aaron Rodgers and the Aaron Rodgers saga. Is he going to go to Denver, or is he going to end up staying pat and staying home in Green Bay with the Cheeseheads? We don't know. I know he's in Hawaii right now. They were saying that he was playing a little golf, with John Elway. But no. Rumors saying that he was playing golf with John Elway. A little bit of collusion, a little bit of tamperment and tampering. You know what it is. But let's talk a little Tebow. Shirk, I knew you were going to be in the building. I know a lot of people, these pundits, and a lot of these people out there are not happy about Tim Tebow signing with the Jags. For me, I'm a type of guy that I understand you're trying to do a new position, and a lot of guys aren't going to succeed, going from a quarterback position, which you were very dominant in the University of Florida Gators, all day, every day, okay? Then you went to Denver. You had that one playoff win, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We remember the throw, right? But as far as being a great NFL quarterback, Tim Tebow was not it. Tim Tebow, as Pat McAfee would say, all right? So he was not a good, or even, I don't know if you can even say average quarterback in the NFL, but for him to be able to sell tickets, put butts in the seats, help Urban Meyer create a culture, and, try to get less pressure on Trevor Lawrence. I know a lot of other tight ends that are in the league probably aren't loving this, but I absolutely fucking love this signing for the Jacksonville Jaguars, Urban Meyer, and the rest of the squad, because the thing is, they're not necessarily going to be in the playoff hunt year one. So why is everyone crying and bitching and complaining? Let the guy go out there and see if he can play tight end. If he can find a way to get into the starting lineup and be the guy, he can score maybe 2, 4, 6, and maybe upwards of maybe 8 touchdowns in a season if he can end up blocking somebody. That's the question. Can you be in the trenches and block defensive ends? Is that something that Tim Tebow, can you do that? We know that you can throw the football. You can do some trick plays and have him line up at quarterback, right? You can have him line up maybe at like halfback or tight end. Mix it up. You're going to have to look out for this player anytime he's on the field as far as a decoy, or if he's going to be the guy that's going to get the football. But I love his passion. I love his energy. And, anyone that's going to knock Tim Tebow for chasing his dreams, I'm a guy that, chases his dreams, started from nothing, trying to make something for myself, obviously here on YouTube and everything that I do in general for sports, okay? For a guy that has the passion, right, more than probably anybody, bottom line, as far as like pregame speeches, kind of reminds me of Drew Brees, or Ray Lewis, Tim Tebow, as Pat McAfee would say, and AJ Hawk on the Pat McAfee show. All right, there's not a lot of guys that you would want to run through a wall for or with, all right, in a game. But when you listen to Tim Tebow speak and that energy that he can bring, that positivity, I am all about it. I hope that not only does he make the team, he sells jerseys, puts butts in the seats. Yeah, a lot of these DNs, D tackles, pass rushers, linebackers, safeties are going to go and try to kill him. I get it, right? He's going to be a targeted man. I understand. But I would love to be able to see this man succeed. He tried doing the baseball thing like Michael Jordan. He couldn't do it. but he tried. And a lot of people out there are afraid to try or afraid of failure. Tim Tebow, he loves Jesus. He loves God. He's a prayer kind of man, all right? But I absolutely love his energy, and he's going to bring positivity. So I hope that he ends up making the roster for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And if he does, don't be surprised if he ends up getting into the end zone 5 to 10 times in the season, depending on how many plays they have lined up, trick plays or plays designed for him in the red zone from Trevor Lawrence. Because I know he can catch. And this could be definitely a weapon and a game plan that you would have to game plan strictly for Tim Tebow. And not a lot of guys could say that, especially when they haven't been in the league for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and a guy that's switching positions. But he should have played tight end coming out of college. But he was stubborn. He played QB pretty much his whole life. If he would have transitioned into tight end, right, year one, he might still be playing in the league today from the point when he got drafted. He might not be a top 10 tight end, maybe not even a top 20 tight end, all right, but he could be a guy that could be serviceable to help kind of relieve a little bit of the load for Trevor Lawrence with all that pressure of being the number one pick in the draft, and he could be a weapon. So, I mean, yeah, we got the Colts. And yeah, we got the Titans. We know the Houston Texans are the fucking dumpster fire of the NFL. But as far as Tim Tebow and the Jacksonville Jaguars are concerned, I am all on board, and I hope that he makes the team. I think that he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to show that he can catch, he can block, he can be a great teammate, which we know he can. But it could help Jacksonville win a couple more games with just Tim Tebow being in the locker room. And that's my 2 cents on it. So let me acknowledge everybody in the room and let me see what everyone and what they think about Tim Tebow as well as the Jags or anything that you guys want to talk about, the NFL, your team, the draft. I've been doing a lot of reading and a lot of film study. That's why I haven't been online for the last probably 2 or 3 days. But I thought today would be a great day to go over Tim Tebow and anything else NFL related. We can do a Q&A. We can do a little bit of everything. Justin Wills, yo, what it do? Who you got starting, Cam or Mac Jones? Justin Wills. You know I do my homework, and I go on to all the team websites. You know, I'm doing a lot of the film study. I know 100% that they're going to start Cam Newton to begin the season. Now, at some point, do they transition over to Mac Jones? Yes, I think that they will. It just depends on what the record is for New England, because a lot of people think, regardless if it's Cam Newton or Mac Jones, New England's making the playoffs this season. A lot of people think that or believe that. I would say that there is a good possibility New England, with the Jonnu Smith, the Hunter Henry, with all the new additions, Nelson Aguilar, you know, depending on all these guys that were coming back from COVID protocol, they're going to have a whole new look and a whole new team. I don't really like Cam Newton. I think he's a little old. I think he's a little washed, but he could still, you know, do some things out there in the red zone, you know, obviously, you know, at the goal line, you know, he could be a weapon. But from the 20 to the 20, Mac Jones gives you a better chance to win. But Mac Jones, no matter even if they're sold on him in camp, and he has an excellent camp, kind of like with Russell Wilson when he came in as a rookie, right? And we saw what he had to deal with and who he was competing against in Seattle when he first came in. Matt Flynn, remember? Matt Flynn was a starter. They paid him all the money. And then we were like, okay, maybe Matt Flynn will start. But Danger Russ was so damn good, you knew it was a matter of time that you had to get this guy in the game. Now, Mac Jones is not going to start game 1, but somewhere between game 5 and game 8 is where I think Mac Jones will get an opportunity, but also it depends if Cam starts off and they are like, let's say 0-3, 1-2, then Mac Jones might get in there by game 4. But, you know, if you know, Cam Newton ends up starting the season off 3-1, they may not be so reluctant to hand the keys over to Mac Jones when Cam is rolling, if he's playing good with Belichick, McDaniels, Cam Newton. So, you know, it might be somewhere between week 5 and week 10, realistically, depending on the record and what they're going to be. But Mac Jones is the future. Now, am I sold on Mac Jones like Justin Fields in Chicago or Trey Lance? All right, Trey Area. All right, am I sold like those guys on the Niners and the Bears? No. But Mac Jones is in a good system that even if he was on the Niners or New England, he's going to succeed because of what? Coaching. What do I tell you guys? A lot of times it's about defense, the offensive line, right? That makes the wheels turn. You got to have a quarterback. That's the engine. But to be able to have that car run for a long period of time and, one turn click, one turn key turn to make that bitch start going, you need to be able to have great coaching. And there's not a lot of great coaches that are in the NFL. Not a lot of great OCs. Not a lot of great DCs that are out there. So Cam Newton week 1, but don't be surprised. Mac Jones, all right, from Alabama. Roll Tide. He will get his opportunity sometime between week 5 and week 10. NWSF hot take. I got them all day and every day. I hope everyone is having a great day. I missed you guys. Like I said, I've been taking a lot of time reading, watching film, going through all the team websites, all 32. And then on top of that, there's not been really a whole lot popping off in the NFL world. Aaron Rodgers, is he going to fucking Denver? Is he playing golf with John Elway? Who the fuck knows? But I have been watching Pat McAfee's show daily. I've been watching Good Morning Football daily. And it hasn't been good. Good Morning Football has not been good. They've been just saying some ridiculous questions, shit that's not even related to football, talking about the Friends fucking reunion. I don't give a fuck about the Friends reunion. If we're on NFL Network and we're talking Good Morning Football, give me some goddamn NFL news. And I know it's a slow point right now, but, you got to be able to find things NFL related. Let's talk about training camp. Let's talk about highlights. Let's talk about the guys and what they look like as we're going into OTAs, preseason, and then the fucking regular season. That's what we're here for, right? We're Northwest Sports Fanatics. We're the Fanatic family. We love NFL. Ryan Strick in the building. He said, let's go Tebow. College goat Tebow. Love Tebow. Always loved him. I always will. Is it a little bit of a gimmick? Yeah, of course. You're trying to put butts in the seats, all right? You're trying to be able to have a winning culture. And even if he ends up not being great, just him being in the locker room, all right, I think is going to be a positive for Urban Meyer and not only him, Trevor Lawrence, and the rest of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So a lot of these other motherfuckers out there that might be deserving a shot, right? Maybe they have more skills. Maybe they're a free agent. Maybe they're on the market and they haven't got picked up by a team. I understand. But one thing that Tim Tebow has that they don't have, Jesus. All right, he's got Jesus on his side. He's got the positivity. He can rile up the teammates. And a lot of these guys that might not be signed at tight end right now, they don't got Jesus on their side. So I absolutely love Tim Tebow. I always have. I always will. I think he is going to make the team, and he's going to earn it. All right, a lot of people are going to be gunning for him, going for his throat, trying to injure him, trying to end his career. But I think that if he can stay healthy, right, work on his game, take it seriously like I know he will, to be one of the top 20 tight ends in this league, he could end up scoring 5 to 10 times if he makes the roster, right? From Trevor Lawrence, red zone, trick plays. I don't think it's that crazy to think that on the low side, 2 to 5 touchdowns. Maybe 300 to 500 yards on the low side for Tim Tebow, all right? Because Trevor Lawrence is that dude, all right? Trevor Lawrence is that dude. Urban Meyer is that dude, okay? But on the high side, 5 to 10 touchdowns, maybe sitting somewhere between 500 and 800 yards. And that could be the difference between maybe winning 4 games in a season to possibly winning maybe 7 or 8 games if they overachieve. Now, am I saying Jacksonville's going to win 8, 9 games? Probably not. All right, they're probably going to win 7 games or less. But with Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer and obviously with Tim Tebow, I absolutely hope that he makes the roster, and it's must-see TV. When he's on TV, you're going to be watching because everyone's going to be watching to see if he pancakes anybody out there. If you get pancaked by a quarterback and Tim Tebow, I mean, he's built pretty big. All right, this ain't no little guy out there like a Brian Hoyer. This is Tim Tebow. So I'm very excited to see if he can make the roster, and I'm absolutely a Tim Tebow supporter through and through. Message from a Golden Eagle. Oh, yeah. He said, what up, Ryan, in the NWSF, Northwest Sports Fanatics in the building, baby. He said, thoughts on some of our pickups, post-draft, fly, Eagles fly, smash the like button, subscribe, donate to your boy, the NWSF. I saw that. Ryan Kerrigan going to the Eagles. Fly, Eagles fly. I absolutely love that. I know he's aged and he's a little bit old. Didn't play a lot of snaps last year. But I think that with the rotation of the guys that you guys have, I absolutely love what you guys have been doing. Week in, week out. Post-draft, getting to this point, right, is your guy, Jalen Hurts, the starting QB. Yes, I believe he is. But
if for whatever reason Dallas makes the playoffs as a wild card, which they have a great chance if Dak stays healthy, okay? Washington football team, all right, with Ryan Fitzmagic, Chase Young, they win the division again. If that happens, the Eagles and the Giants have potential, but they might be 1 year away. Remember, you got 1, 2, 3 first-round draft picks next year, and there's going to be a lot of QBs from Florida, Oklahoma, USC. There's going to be a lot of guys circulating where if you guys wanted to make a move and switch, right, from Jalen Hurts, you guys will have the opportunity to do that next season with 3 first-round draft picks. I know Carson Wentz will play 60 or 70% of his snaps, okay, for the Colts. Colts will be a good football team this year. But I love what the Eagles are doing, but don't be surprised if you don't make the playoffs this year. But it might be a good thing because then you can get your franchise QB next year if it's not Jalen Hurts, or maybe you can trade up and get a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau, K-Tibbs, the best college football player from the University of Oregon, the best defensive player, and arguably the best player in college football. The next Myles Garrett, all right, going into the NFL in the 2022 draft. And that's big facts. Jason Smith in the building. Ooh, yeah. Nolans Saints in the building. What to do? Justin Wills, where do you rank DJ Moore for top wide receivers in the league? Now, if you were asking, a Panthers YouTuber, of course they're going to have him probably sitting, top 15, right? If you're asking haters, right, that don't know DJ Moore, they would say, he's not that good, probably top 40 wide receiver. But for someone like me that watches the NFC South very closely, not only the Bucks, Saints, Panthers, and Falcons, all right, but every single team, all 32 in the league, DJ Moore is one of the more underrated wide receivers in this league. I would take him on Tampa Bay in a heartbeat. Is he better than Mike Evans? No. Is he better than Chris Godwin? No. But he does a lot of things that you would want in a starting wide receiver for your roster. And if you look at the roster that you've been compiling with Sam Darnold, there in Carolina, it wouldn't shock me if they made the playoffs this season as a wild card, and they might be about a year out, a year or two away from really getting their stride. We got to see if Run CMC can stay healthy, but with Robbie Anderson and Sam Darnold linked back together, DJ Moore is there. Curtis Samuel's gone. He's going to be playing with Scary Terry McLaurin with the Washington football team. But I think DJ Moore, to me, out of all the wide receivers, I would say somewhere between 16 and 20 overall. Out of all there's a lot of wide receivers that are in the league, but somewhere between that 16 and maybe 16 and 22 range. He's definitely one of those guys that's underrated. He's not a big name, but if you put DJ Moore on like Green Bay, he would be right there with Devontae Adams. Not as good as Devontae Adams, but they're looking for that, that big name guy, that guy that can go up and get it, a guy that can run good routes, that's got good hands, slimy, slithery. I love DJ Moore. Very, very underrated, and he's only going to get better with Sam Darnold, better than what he had with Teddy Bridgewater, and as far as all the other quarterbacks that you've had in the past with DJ Moore. DJ Moore is on the up and up, and he's only going to get better, and that's big facts. Tim Tebow will end up on the coaching staff. Message from an Eagle. I disagree, man. I think Tebow can do it. I really do. I believe in the guy. I think he can, he's going to have to put in a lot of work. Not playing tight end ever, all right? But if he's dedicated, right, like someone that is like me, if you put all your eggs in the basket and you're willing to work hard and show the passion and the energy and be positive, you're going to get good results. Who's more positive than Tim Tebow? Let's think about that, really. Who is more positive or more inspiring than Tim Tebow? 2 guys in the league that are no longer in the league anymore. Maybe Drew Brees, inspiring with his pregame speeches as a QB, and Ray Lewis, for linebacker speeches for the Ravens. So the Ravens and the Saints are losing those big pieces that can really energize not only the team, but the fan base and the coaching staff. And like I said, besides those 2 guys, I don't know if there's anyone else that would make you want to run through a wall for them rather than Tim Tebow. So I think he can do it. I really am hoping that, if I had to put money on it, if he's going to succeed or not, I would say that he is. I think that he can succeed, and his stats can end up being a little bit better than the haters think. Ryan Strick, I'm right there with you, man. Florida Gators all day, every day. Can't wait for Tebow to prove the haters wrong. And even if he's not a top 20 tight end. He can still be a decoy, and he can still get into the end zone 4 or 5 times, and that's a lot more than a lot of tight ends in the league. Go back and look at the tight end numbers. Tight ends don't score touchdowns. I mean, even if when you're Kelsey or Kittle, when you're Waller, Andrews, Pitts coming in, right, from Florida, the number one guy from year to year is usually under 10 touchdowns, 10 tutties, all right? So if you get to 5 tutties or more at tight end, that's pretty good, all right? So if you get 5 to 10, you're good. Tebow could get a couple red zone looks, right, and get to 5 within probably 10 games. So even though I don't think he's on the same level as Kelsey, Kittle, Andrews, Darren Waller from the Raiders, or Kyle Pitts, who PFF had in the top 5 already, even though he hasn't played in a fucking snap yet, but that's projected stats, and I get it. I think he is going to be a top 5 tight end in the league year 1, Kyle Pitts, that's facts. But I can't wait for Tebow to prove the haters wrong. Brute Saint. I ain't sure if Tebow will make the 53-man roster, but I hope he does. It's good for the NFL. It's good for football. I think, if you have passion and love for something, you know what I mean? It shows. You know what I mean? There's no one more positive than Tim Tebow, and he's not willing to make mistakes. He went on TV. He tried baseball. I mean, this guy has the positivity on his side. Why not? You know what I mean? Why not? And now if you're going to say that Tim Tebow's playing linebacker, or safety, or QB again, then I'll be, oh no. I don't know if he can do that, right? But playing tight end might be the easiest transition for him out of any position besides being on the coaching staff, and that's facts. Let's see here, Jason Smith. I think anyone should get a shot if they got the skills. Absolutely, I agree. Tebow will still make an excellent locker room presence, and that's the reason you're bringing him in. Let's not get it twisted one bit. Number 1, Urban Meyer wants to change the culture. Number 2, they want to sell butts in the seats. All right. We know Khan, the owner of the Jags, AEW, now only has 1 show that going to TBS. Now they got 2. So they're going to be competing with Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. The money's rolling in. AEW's got a good product. So not only are they making money with AEW wrestling, my favorite, way better than WWE. All right. The Jags are trying to sell seats. They're trying to sell jerseys for Trevor Lawrence. They're trying to sell Tebow jersey. He's a legend out there in Florida, all right? But I think that not only with the positivity, I think that he can be a weapon. Not a great weapon, but maybe a weapon out there that can help them win. And it might end up giving them an extra win or 2 in the season. So if you go from 6 wins to 8 wins, that could be huge. And like I said, I think Jacksonville can make the playoffs, not this year, but maybe in a year or 2, depending on what they do in next year's draft and the following and free agency. Because obviously, we got to see where Julio goes. I know Derrick Henry is, trying to court him over. If you get Ryan Tannehill, King Henry, A.J. Brown, right, and Julio Jones, watch out, all right? You got Bud Dupree to come over from the Steelers, and they got the toughest schedule, the Steelers, so there's going to be other teams that are going to step up. But other than that, watch with what happens. It's going to be a circling effect with what happens with Aaron Rodgers if he goes to Denver or if he ends up staying pat and playing with the Packers and the Cheeseheads. Let's see here. Justin Wills, what up, man? Calvin Griffin, roll motherfucking Tide in the building. What to do, man? How are you? Calvin Griffin in the fucking building. What to do? Chiefs fans finna mess around and trade 2 seconds and a 4th and a 5th for Julio and a 7th. Yeah, Chiefs have no chance. They're not going to go for – they already have plenty of weapons. Calm your ass down. You're still going to get to the Super Bowl against Tampa Bay again, more than likely. We're the 2 best teams in football. Well, there's a great chance for us to play each other again and for you guys to get the dub maybe this time around. You guys have made great strides in your O-line. Very proud of the Chiefs organization. That's how you build a championship team. You address the concerns, you address the weaknesses, and then not only do you address them, Brown, Tooney, right? Kyle Long, you bring in guys that can actually make a difference. So even though I'm confident Tampa can go for 2, all right? But if we lose to the Chiefs, you ain't going to see me crying about it. I want to be able to have the best matchup possible for not only the NFC Championship game, but for the AFC Championship game as well. Browns versus Chiefs. Maybe Bills, Chiefs, right? We never know what combination we're going to get. I doubt the Chiefs will get knocked off. The Browns and the Bills and the Chiefs, they're the top dogs. Buccaneers, Rams are the top dogs in the NFC, but I could see other teams like the Niners having a great bounce back year. Don't be surprised if they make the playoffs. I'm almost stamping it already right now. And Trey Lance should be able to get in by week 3. No later than week 5, he should be the guy over Jimmy Garoppolo. Give Jimmy maybe a game or two. They end up 1-1 or 0-2. Put in Trey Area, as E40 would say. Bring in Trey Lance. And I think by week 3, you might get him. DJ, he's my man with the big energy. Oh, yeah. What to do, my guy? How are you? Your boy's been grinding, reading, watching film. Not a lot of NFL news coming out. But your boy, wants to, say hello to the people, the Fanatic family. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't smashed the like button just yet, please do. I'm back. Let's talk some fucking NFL. Tim Tebow reaction with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that fucking like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. Jason Smith says Cam going to get hurt again and Jones will take over. More than likely. Calvin Griffin, obviously being an Alabama fan and obviously a Saints fan, he says Mac Jones a bum. He might be. He might be a bum, but if he can succeed anywhere, it's going to be New England or the Niners, and he ended up going to one of those two teams, so I think that it'll end up working out for him long term, just because you got Belichick and you got Josh McDaniels. It's more about the coaching, right? Trey Lance, Kyle Shanahan, right? Mac Jones, Bill Belichick, Josh McDaniels, rather than maybe the overall talent like a Trevor Lawrence, a Zach Wilson, or a Justin Fields in Chicago, even though I don't like Nagy. All right, Raymondo, what to do? He said, man, I haven't watched you guys for ages. I'm drinking at midday here in Blacktown, Sydney, Australia. Raymondo, repping from Australia. Good day, mate. How are you, my guy? Raymondo in the building. FN2187, my first time back since the Super Bowl. I'm happy for you, bro. Go Chiefs. NWSF for life. Woo! Let's go. And I'm excited about the Chiefs. Let's not get it twisted. Let's not get it twisted. I think out of all the teams that I'm looking forward to watching, besides my own, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Champa Bay, we're trying to go for 2. Super Bowl 37, champs. Super Bowl 55, champs. All right, we're trying to go for Super Bowl 56. Now, the Rams and the Chiefs are going to have something to say about that. And I understand. I'm going to have to earn it. We're going to have to stay healthy. But I like my chances. I mean, overall, for my defense and my offense, bringing everybody back. The only setback right now might be Antonio Brown. Fly like a butterfly, sting like AB with the surgery, right, with the knee. So as long as he cleans that up and he's healthy, we should be good to go. For whatever reason, if he's not, Julian Edelman, someone call 911, someone call Tom Brady. Hey, he says he's a one-man team, Julian Edelman. But for whatever reason, if Antonio Brown can't make it, right, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and he's too injured, Julian, come on over with your boys. I'll take you, my guy. I know you're getting a little bit older, but you can still be productive as a 3rd or 4th option with Tom Brady. Facts. Cash Out Hybrid in the building. He missed your boy. What a do, my guy. Ravens flock in the building. As more and more film that I watch of Bateman and more film that I've watched with the wide receivers you drafted and the room, I think that you guys can make the playoffs this season. I was kind of thinking, between you and the Steelers, looking at the Steelers' schedule, they got the toughest schedule in the NFL. The Steelers, they're not making the playoffs. The Ravens, I think they will. Now, will they be able to beat the Browns for the AFC North? I don't think so. All right, I think that as long as they stay healthy, it's the Browns' division to lose. All right, they should be the team that ends up winning the division. They didn't win it last year. The Steelers, right, were right there at the top, 10-0, and then they went on that big downhill slide. But I think the Browns can win it. But I think the Ravens, we're going to see a huge year from Lamar Jackson. All right, the offensive line still needs some tweaking. All right, defense needs a little tweaking. All right, but as far as getting wide receivers and the running game, it should be on point. And I think the Ravens are going to make the playoffs. Cash Out. I know you love me here. I love you. I know you love me, right, saying that the Ravens have a good shot to hit the playoffs this year. I think we're going to have a really good bounce-back year for Lamar Action Jackson. Joshua, the Bucks fan. Logan, my guy, go Bucks, baby. I got my Devin White jersey on. I got about 10 other jerseys in the closet. Tampa Bay all day, every day. The best in the world. Devin White all day, every day. I can't wait to see what we end up bringing in as far as a product. Offense, defense, special teams, coaching. I mean, we are the team to beat besides the Kansas City Chiefs. Everyone is going to be gunning for the Chiefs and Tampa Bay. But there'll be other teams that are going to be able to make some noise. The Cowboys, the Niners, the Chargers, and maybe the Giants, depending if Danny Dimes can fucking put it together or not. There's a lot of teams that are going to be on the bubble. But I hope the Chargers get in. I want to see them in the playoffs with my boy Justin Herbert. And I want to see some of these other teams kind of rebound from maybe the year that they had in the last year or 2 years, like the Ravens. And that's big facts. Truly Greens, who dat, you dat. Nyland Saints in the building. FN 2187 said it's going to be a rough year for NOLA. It's going to be tough. I mean, you've had the luxury of having Drew Brees for such a long time. You know, if any team can overachieve, right, and they can make the playoffs, it possibly could be the Saints. But also on the flip side, the Saints might go 9-8 and miss the playoffs. The Seahawks might go 9-8 or 8-9, miss the playoffs. But if that does happen, and the Saints get their future Drew Brees in next year's draft, all is forgiven. If Seattle drops, the playoff, streak, right, and then they end up trying to rebuild that offensive line and actually hold Schneider and Pete Carroll accountable, maybe they can get back up with the Cardinals, the Niners, and the Rams. But if you have Russell Wilson out there, all right, you're always going to have a shot to win the division, and if not, hit a wild card. Because every time we try to be like, Seattle's defense sucks, their O-line sucks, right? But they got Tyler, get to the door and lock it. All right, they got DK Metcalf. They got a rotation of running backs with Carson and company, even though they get hurt all the time. And you got Dangerous. So, with that being said, he is one of the top 3 quarterbacks in this league. Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe not in that order for everyone, all right? But that's the bottom line because O-Dog said so. But it is going to be tough. It is going to be tough for the Saints this upcoming season. But if you take one step backwards to go 10 steps forward to get the next Drew Brees, it'll be worth it. If you don't make the playoffs one year, fuck it. But if you get your next guy, Howell, you know what I mean? There's so many good quarterbacks. North Carolina's got one. USC with Clovis, right? Emory over there on Florida. There's a lot of different guys. Oklahoma has got one too, so there's going to be a lot of guys. The Eagles will be looking at one as well if Jalen Hurts doesn't pan out. So all is not lost if you don't end up getting a guy, with Jameis Winston this season. We'll see how he does, but I don't know if he's a long-term guy. And that's big facts. Joshua, the Bucks fan, Logan. Do you think the Bucks will go undefeated? Even if I was the most cocky Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan on planet Earth, which I'm not. I'm very realistic. No, it's not happening. No team is going to go undefeated. We're going from 16 games to 17 games to an 18-week season, depending on when you have your bye, depending on who you're playing. It's going to be tough. I think that the number 1 team in the NFL, record-wise, Tampa and the Chiefs probably have the best shot record-wise based off the roster, the coaching, and the schedule. But with that being said, Tampa's schedule is much easier than the Chiefs. But with the Chiefs' domination with talent, with the offensive line, new additions, Andy Reid, Honey Badger on the back end, Mahomes, Tyreek, Kelsey, it wouldn't surprise me if the Chiefs end up having the best record in the NFL at the end of the season with like a 14-3 record. I really think that 3 losses is going to be probably the minimum. You're not going to see a team go undefeated. You're not going to see a team lose 1 game. And I don't think you're even going to see a team lose 2 games. I think 3 games and a team that has the best shot would be the Chiefs or Tampa Bay of hitting 14-3. I wouldn't mind going 11-6, 12-5, 13-4. That's okay with me. Sometimes you want to be able to drop games and understand what it takes to lose, make the adjustments, as long as you're not going on a 2, 3, 4 game losing streak as a playoff team. And that's a big fact. So Bucks going undefeated, no. Chiefs going undefeated, no. But if anyone can get close, it's going to be the Bucs and the Chiefs, but I think 3 losses for each team is kind of like what the blueprint is, based off the schedule. In Tampa, our schedule is much easier than the Chiefs, so we might end up getting there to maybe 3 losses, but that doesn't guarantee that we're going to go for 2 and win it all. I hope we get to the NFC Championship game. I don't really care if we win the NFC South. Breeze is no longer there, so it's pretty much ours by default. We're going to get the NFC South crown, all right? But how far we go is going to be really depending on the coaching staff, Tom Brady, the O-line, and the defense, as well as some of the rookies coming in to see what kind of impact they can have, like Tryon, all right, from my boy, UW, up north. The Huskies, I see you. FN 2187 in the building. John Roberts, sup, baby? Sup, baby? Bills Mafia in the building. What to do, man? What to do? Cash out hybrid. Mark Andrews scores all the TDs, all the tutties, because he's the number 1 option right now. All right? But Bateman will probably be the number 1 option, maybe Andrews number 2. And that might open up the running game, and Lamar might not have to run for his life as much. So if they have more of a balanced offense and actually throw the goddamn football, not just to Mark Andrews. Hollywood Brown is kind of a Buster Brown. I don't know how good Hollywood Brown really is. Kind of overrated, in my opinion. He needs to work on his game. He needs to be able to run more routes than just a go route, all right? But with Bateman there and with some of the new additions, this could be a big, big move for the Baltimore Ravens this season. Can't wait for some football, John Roberts says. I know, man. Bucs are going for another Super Bowl and beating the Saints twice. Now, even though I'm a huge Bucs fan, and the Saints fan base on this channel is very, very heavy, all right? I wouldn't really say that we're going to sweep, right, the Saints, the Panthers, or the Falcons, especially with Matt Ryan, Kyle Pitts. Julio might not be there, right? But with Ridley there, Pitts there, Matt Ryan, defense still needs some work, right? We should be able to beat Atlanta. Panthers are much better, and the Saints, let's not forget, they arguably got the best offensive line in football. Led by Ryan Ramczyk, stud, one of the best in the NFL. Let's not sleep on that. AK-41, the best running back in the NFL. The best running back in the NFL, AK-41, not named Derrick Henry. I would take AK. If you're doing fantasy football and you got the number 1 pick in the draft, most people would probably go Derrick Henry, right? But AK-41, the alien, Alvin Kamara, even though I'm a Bucs fan, to me, he's the best all-around back. Who's the best power back? Derrick Henry. Who's the best all-around back who can catch out of the backfield and do everything you would want an NFL running back to do? AK-41. Now, Christian McCaffrey might be back, right? Zeke. There's going to be a lot of guys that have a lot to prove this season. Dalvin Cook should be good. There'll be a lot of guys. Jonathan Taylor was a beast last year, right? The Raiders, Josh Jacobs. You got a lot of running. Saquon Barkley coming back from his injury. When he's healthy, he's definitely at the top of the list. But I love AK-41. So when you got guys like Ramczyk, AK-41, MT, the defense, even though there's holes, I wouldn't guarantee the Bucs are just going to sweep everybody in the division. All right, that's me being realistic, me having respect for not the NFC South and all the teams in it. Like I said, all we're trying to do is just get to the dance, and that's big facts. Calvin Griffin changing the subject. Bianca Belair, the GOAT. WWE has really gone down the shitter. Zombies and, God, dude, these pay-per-views are getting so fucking bad. We got SummerSlam coming up, but, man, WWE's product is not good. And I hope it gets better for Raw, SmackDown, as well as NXT. And I noticed that they released Velveteen Dream, the 2021, brother Goldust, right? They let him go. I hope he goes to AEW. He had a lot of potential, a lot of injuries, but that is for another video on another day. Kenny Omega and the Elite. That's way better than anything on WWE right now, and that's facts. Cash out. He said, wouldn't go for that far, Calvin. John Roberts, congratulations on your Super Bowl. See you next year. Man, I know you wanted that Bills-Bucks. It's going to be Bills, Browns, Chiefs, slugging it out. And it wouldn't surprise me if Herbert stays healthy. Maybe the Chargers can get in the mix with the Titans and the Colts and the Ravens and a few other teams. But let's not sleep on the Chargers either, okay? NFC, you got Tampa, you got the Rams, right? You're going to have Seattle. You're going to have the Niners, the Cardinals. Who knows what you're going to get out of Washington football team? Probably win the division. Dallas Cowboys, Eagles, and Giants will be all fighting for a spot. Vikings, Green Bay, should be pretty good. Bears, depending on what Justin Fields does, we don't know. All right, but there'll be a lot of activity from the north, the south, the east, and the west in the NFC as well as the AFC, and that's big facts. Bud, ouch my knee, Dupree. Hey, he's going to make a huge difference for not only the Tennessee Titans, but it's going to be a huge loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are not going to the playoffs. That's facts. Patrick Mahomes is going to be like LeBron after losing to the Warriors, just scorch earth on everyone. As long as he can stay healthy, I think we take back our trophy. Well, you hope so. But if you have any kind of injuries, we'll see. Tampa Bay still has got to be the favored team. We brought back everyone on the coaching staff, everyone on offense, everyone on defense. Now AB's the last one. But by far, the Chiefs and the Bucs are the two best teams on paper, and it wouldn't shock me if we play each other again. And that's facts. Who's going to beat the Chiefs, realistically? Bills, Browns are getting closer, but can they actually do it? I don't know. Now, the Bucs might be more beatable in the NFC because the NFC might have more quality football teams. Rams, Niners should be good. Cardinals should be much better this season as well. I see them getting into the playoffs. And then you never know what you're going to get out of the Cowboys or maybe the Bears this season. But it takes a full team, and you got to have depth for injuries, and Tampa Bay's got the depth. That's why I'm confident that we can go for 2. Let's get it. Let's see. We going for 2 Super Bowls. 3, baby. We already got 2 wins. 2 AFC West opponents. The Raiders smacked them around. Super Bowl 37. Chiefs in Super Bowl 55. Smacked around Mahomes. We got 2. We're going for 3. We are going for 3. Message from a Golden Eagle. Poor Saints, he says. Hey, if they get their quarterback of the future, there's a lot of guys that are going to be coming in next year. They might not be on the same, caliber of quarterbacks that we have this year, but there's going to be a chance for them to be able to still be a playoff team this year with Jameis. All right, he's got to throw less than 20 picks. That's facts, right? But taking a step backwards and go 10 steps forward might be good for their team. Let's see here. FN2187. I want training camp already. Me too. So who dat? We're going to prove the haters wrong. It's not proving the haters wrong. Just look at your team. You don't have Drew Brees anymore. Jared Cook fumbled a lot. I get it. He's no longer there. You don't want him, right? Emmanuel Sanders is no longer there. You don't have a true number 2 wide receiver, all right? The guys that you got in the draft, unproven. We don't know what they're going to get, all right? No more T-Rex. He's gone. Sheldon Rankins, he was injury prone, all right? He's gone, right? Jenkins on the back end is gone. So don't act like, people are talking shit or saying that you guys might miss the playoffs and you have the same exact team from last year. We're not saying that. You don't have the same exact team. You have a lot of pieces that are no longer there, led by Drew Brees. So it's very easy to think that they might lose 2 or 3 more games than they did last year, right? Maybe be 9-8, maybe be 8-9. But to think that you're going to have a better record than last year with no Drew Brees is kind of asinine, if you ask me. You know what I mean? You're not going to be better than the team that you had last year. You have a lot of holes on the team. Now, AK-41 can be great. Pro Bowl, one of the best in the league. MT can get back to MT form. Can't guard Mike, all right? But you got Jameis throwing to him. It's a whole new look. Even if Taysom Hill takes over, then you take him away from his Swiss Army knife. But the defense, the offense, and the depth, if you have any kind of injuries, that's why people are thinking that they might take a step back. You don't have the same kind of team as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that's facts. All right, let me take a quick look and scroll down here. $5 donation, V-Man 29397. Hey, boy. He said, I honestly believe my Jets will beat your Bucks, not because we're better, because your team won't be trying at that point and the weather will be bad. We're going to beat you guys, but I'm really looking forward to the Jets of being a good football team again. We had Mark Sanchez, Mr. Butt Fumble, and I think the Jets are going to be one of those watchable teams. I love Zach Wilson, all right? I love every single piece that you guys brought in on the draft, free agency. You still got a few years to go. But you got Robert Saleh, so you're in good hands. It might take a couple years, and you're in a tough division. Dolphins, Patriots, Bills. That's tough. But if you guys can catch up, right, you might be kind of like the NFC West right now. It's going to take a couple years, all right? But you know what? I'm excited. I am excited. Thank you for the $5 holla. Appreciate that. The Jets won't make the playoffs, but they're going to be at least a watchable football team, just like the Jacksonville Jaguars with Trevor Lawrence. And that's what's exciting. That new blood. That new blood of coming in and taking over guys like Drew, right? Ben Roethlisberger, Eli, and some of these guys that are out of the league now or that are going to be out of the league soon. So you're going to get revenge. Well, we'll see. We will see. Stafford is the Patrick Ewing of the NFL. They ain't winning shit. I wouldn't say that. I think the Rams definitely have a shot. You know, Matthew Stafford is very underrated in my opinion. This is going to be the best weapons that they've had surrounding Matthew Stafford in his whole career. The offensive line is still shaky to me, though. So the running game is there. Wide receivers, tight ends, coaching, Sean McVay, defense, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. It's there. You lost some pieces in free agency. But the offensive line will dictate how far the Rams go. NFC Championship game, or if someone else knocks them off, like the Washington football team, Seattle, the Cardinals, or maybe even the Niners, who I have plugged in going to the playoffs this season. Place your bets on Patty and the Chiefs. Well, we already know. Chiefs and the Bucks. That's what it's going to be, more than likely. The only way we don't make the playoffs if Lamar gets injured. Yeah, it might be more than that, too, depending on the running game, Mark Andrews. It could be more than just Lamar not getting hurt. But I think there's a good chance for them to be able to bounce back. The Philly 3291. As I know you were seeing my post on Twitter about Stafford. I'm always checking out everybody on Twitter. You can always tweet me. Anything you tweet out, Rams, Eagles, Buccaneers, Saints, whatever it is, I always retweet and check out anything anyone sends me. The Philly 3291. The Rams are the real deal. The biggest threat to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the NFC is the Los Angeles Rams. That's facts. Get a creamsicle Brady jersey. Drew Brees, Blue Trees. I do want a Devin White jersey like the one I have on in white, but it seems like they don't make a lot of white jerseys. So if I buy a sewn jersey, it's like $200 to $300. It's like $150, $160, for a sewn. And then if you want to get the full-blown sewn, it's like $300. But they only have like Gronk and certain, players like Godwin. I don't want an offensive player. I want like Levante David, white sewn jersey. A Devin White is my number one on my list. And I haven't even bought, a Brady jersey. But if I was going to buy, a Brady jersey, it'd probably be a white one. But I'm not sure if I can buy one. I'm a defensive guy. I'm an offensive line guy. You know what I mean? I'd probably be more likely to buy a Tristan Wirfs before I buy a Brady. Like I might buy a Brady to throw in the closet, to have that memory. But it's not something that I would go around rocking and wearing every day like my Devin White. I love defensive players and offensive line, and that's never going to change. And that's facts. So I got Wilson, Patty, and then Rodgers. Russell's not better than Patrick Mahomes. Come on now. Come on, message from an Eagle. Think about it. You could have Russell Wilson on the Eagles, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. They're all great. But Wilson and Rodgers have been in the league. Patrick Mahomes hasn't even hit his true potential just yet. He's got many Super Bowls to win, all right? He'll probably be the first quarterback to throw for 6,000 yards, and he'll probably be the first quarterback to throw for 60 TDs, 60 tutties, all right? If anyone can do it, it's not going to be Rodgers or Wilson. It's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you got to recognize game and that talent, my guy. Wilson, Mahomes, both 1-1 in Super Bowls. But the difference is that Wilson and Rodgers are never going to go to another Super Bowl for the rest of their careers. Patrick Mahomes will, and even if he ends up going to a few more and loses some to Tampa Bay or the NFC champ, right, he's still going to get more. This isn't his only Super Bowl. Let's be realistic. The Chiefs are the top dog, right, and they should be the top dog for years to come. You got the Chargers coming, the Colts, the Titans, but even with the Bills and the Browns, that's the biggest threat, and there's still a huge gap. I mean, the Browns might be able to close that gap. The Bills might be able to close that gap. But honestly, nobody's as good as the Chiefs offense. Yeah, the corner position and the secondary, not named Honey Badger. Sometimes there's some holes there. You can see, some holes, in the Chiefs secondary. But with that being said, they have so many good players and good coaches, they can kind of hide some of their weaknesses. The only weakness they couldn't hide was that O-line. And obviously Tampa Bay exposed them. And that's facts. Calvin Griffin, how do you feel about 17 games? I love it. I know the players don't love it. The players fucking hate it, all right? Because that's more, torture on their bodies. But for someone that's an NFL YouTuber, right, more reaction videos, more content, more games for me to call. I absolutely love it. But besides, me being in this world, being an NFL YouTuber and being one of the best out there, facts, all right, 17 games, I love it. But I know the NFL players probably hate it. Will Tampa sweep the division? If I had to take a yes or no, I say no. I could be cocky and say, yeah, we brought back all 22 guys. But as you know, I have no bias. I call it right down the middle. I don't have to be cocky about it. I didn't even think that Tampa was going to make the Super Bowl last season. You know what I mean? So if I was so cocky, and all about my team, I knew I had a shot, but I just didn't know if Tampa was going to be able to put it together after the losses to the Saints, the 38-3, in week 9, losing to week 1, losing to the Bears, and Tom Brady forgetting what down it was, losing to the Rams by 3. So it's not like we got blown out that much last year. The Saints was the biggest blowout. All the rest of the losses were like 7 points or less. Most of them were like 3. You know what I mean? But if I had to take a guess, if we sweep the division, I would say no. The Saints are going to bring it. The Panthers are going to bring it. I think we can beat the Falcons twice. I think we can sweep them. But I wouldn't be shocked if we end up, maybe splitting with the Panthers or splitting with the Saints. And that's just me being realistic and not being a homer and just being realistic about the schedule. Sometimes you play good, sometimes you play bad. You never know what kind of game that player is going to get in, especially if you get down like 13-0 in the first quarter. Sometimes you can't come back. Sometimes the other team just, puts too much pressure on you and you can't come back even with a guy like Tom Brady on my sideline. So I say no. Sweeping the division, no. Would I love for them to go 6-0 and sweep the division? Hell yeah. But I don't see us going undefeated, and I don't see us losing 1 or 2 games, even though Tampa is considered the best team in the NFL by most people. That's not named the Kansas City Chiefs. Those are the top 2. That's like, kind of the pinnacle, the top of the top right now, at least based on May 20th, 2021. People think the Chiefs and the Bucks are the teams to beat, and they should be, right? Both teams could still lose 3 to 5 games and still get the number 1 seed. That's in my opinion. So, Truly Greens, let's prove the people of the NFC South wrong. Who dat? It's all good, my guy. It's all good. Najee Harris. I love Najee. I can't wait. He'll probably win Offensive Rookie of the Year if I had to take a bet on who's going to win that award. I mean, Zach Wilson should be good. Justin Fields should be good. Trevor Lawrence will ball out, but it'll probably go down to Trevor Lawrence or Najee Harris. But the thing is, Najee might not get the award because the Steelers probably won't make the playoffs, but his numbers should be off the chain. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he gets 1,000 to 1,600 yards, 10 to 15 touchdowns. I mean, he's going to ball out, but the offensive line needs some work. Ben is getting older, and they have the number 1 toughest schedule in the league, so that might hinder Najee getting that, Offensive Rookie of the Year. But if I had to put money on who might be able to get it now, Najee Harris, May 20th, 2021, today, Najee Harris right now, Trevor Lawrence probably number 2, and then I would probably say Micah Parsons from Dallas. We them boys, at the linebacker position might be the guy that I would be keeping an eye on. I'm not sure what Kwity Paye is going to do for the Colts, but I can't wait to see what he can do as well. Calvin says, the zombies BS pissed me off. I'll be honest, I didn't even watch the pay-per-view. Once I started hearing how bad it was and everyone was retaining and then the zombie shit, I'm like, I'll watch WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Money in the Bank type shit, but like WWE, man, zombies? Come on, man. Come on, Vince. I mean, you got Pat McAfee doing SmackDown. I like that, but goddamn. Rogers' punk ass will never win another. Possibly. Damon P. Aquadio, my guy. Fly, Eagles, fly. I love talking to Eagles fans. How are you, my guy? If the Eagles don't make the playoffs, Devontae Smith is going to ball out. All right, he's going to be one of those guys that will be in the running for probably Rookie of the Year at wide receiver even because he's going to ball out, all right? But you have 3 first-rounders next season, so if you don't make the playoffs, no worries, man. You still have a great chance to get your future quarterback if you don't believe in Jalen Hurts, or if you guys go 9-8 and just barely miss it, or 8-9, right? And then you get 3 first-rounders. Just imagine what kind of talent you can get. Kayvon Thibodeau, he might go number 1 overall. But if Kayvon Thibodeau goes to the Eagles, I might have to get a Kayvon Thibodeau Eagles jersey. I love Kayvon Thibodeau. He is the next Myles Garrett. Don't get at me. Watch the tape. He's amazing. V-Man said, he's talking about the Jets beating the Bucks. Man, I don't think it's going to happen, but I can't wait to be able to see what the Jets do in this upcoming season. And that's facts. V-Man, $5, my boy. Appreciate you, man. Love it when I get Jets fans and fans of all teams in the building. Love you guys. Truly Greens. Drew Brees was our weakness. He could barely throw 10 yards. Bro, it was more than that, right? It was the lack of depth at wide receiver, right? Jared Cook not being able to hang on to the football, right? Defense, getting outplayed and outcoached. It was more than just Drew Brees. You just want to point the finger now that he's gone, but if Drew Brees was still there, that's better than Jameis Winston. Let's be honest. Saints' only shot is for Taysom to run nines and seams from the tight end spot because can't no linebacker catch him. Facts, right? But like I said, even Calvin Griffin and some of these Saints fans like Brute Saint, you might be a homer, Truly Greens. And like I said, I've never had to openly talk shit about a team. I always call it honestly. But if you can't take my honest criticism that the team might not make the playoffs and go 9-8 or 8-9, I mean, I went 13 for 15 in the draft. I don't think anyone else, pundits and experts-wise, did that good. All right, so I've always called it right down the middle on all the teams. I don't need to, talk shit or be like everyone else on social media or YouTube or Instagram. I'm very honest, right, with all my takes. I call it how I see it. If I thought the Saints were going to be a Super Bowl contender like they were in the past 4 years, I would tell you. I've given more love to the Saints than anyone on YouTube. You name one other person out there that was also a rival fan of the fan base, right? I got more Saints fans on this channel than Buccaneers fans. What does that tell you? The Saints fan base on this channel might be the highest out of all fan bases on YouTube. So obviously they know and they respect what I got to say. But you can still root for your team, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. We have Traquan and Deontay Harris. Bro, stop it. Stop it. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders was old. He's 10 times better than those two guys. Those guys are like fourth option, fifth option. You actually need ballers out there, all right? You need someone to complement, Michael Thomas. You would need guys that can come in and make a difference. Those guys aren't starting caliber wide receiver twos, and if you think they are, you're a fucking homer. Beyond anything that's a homer out there. Those guys, you can ask any fan base in the NFL about those guys. Harris can play special teams. He can make some plays here and there, but you can't count on them giving you production game in and game out as a true wide receiver number two. You know what I mean? It's like if you had Justin Jefferson on your team with Michael Thomas, then that's a true number one, number two option. Traquan and Harris, get the fuck out of here. Be realistic. Go look in the mirror. That is not good. That's not a good option at wide receiver two, especially when Drew's not there. You got a brand new quarterback in there, and you're relying on those guys to get to the playoffs? Get the fuck out of here. It's not going to happen. See, look at right there, Calvin Griffin. Right after your statement, Truly Greens, not having a decent receiver was the Saints' weakness. Michael Thomas injured, Emmanuel Sanders, and then imagine if Michael Thomas goes down with an injury. You think Jameis Winston is going to be able to hold down the fort with Traquan and Harris? Get the fuck out of here. You'll be able to get your production from AK-41, but you're fucked if you guys have any kind of minimal injuries. Your depth is not there. Look at your fucking roster. You don't have the depth. Calvin Griffin, Saints fan. Putting you, Truly Greens, another Saints fan, in your place. Traquan ain't shit. Harris is a return man. Exactly. All right, not a receiver. Probably best returner in the league right now. Facts. He's one of the best. But his route running is trash, and dude's like 140 pounds soaking wet. They don't have a receiver. See? Exactly. See, you think that I'm talking shit because I'm a Bucs fan, because everyone's so goddamn negative in the world. But Calvin Griffin is one of the smarter Saints fans that isn't a bandwagon Saint fan that has to be blind and not see the weaknesses, all right? If I call out a weakness, I'm not just calling it out to say you guys are trash, like maybe other people on YouTube or Skip and Shannon, just people talking shit. I say it with conviction. I say it with facts and backbone. And then you get other Saints fans telling you this, then you obviously know you're wrong. Truly Greens, you're wrong. You don't have the roster. No one thinks you're going to win the NFC South. No one thinks you're a Super Bowl contender. You still got a pretty good football team, but you lost a lot of pieces. Go back to your team website, look at all the losses that you had, and look at your draft, and really think about it for a second. Do you think you're going to be as good as the Bucs, the Rams, the Niners this season rebounding, right? The Seattle Seahawks, the Cardinals, the Packers, if Aaron Rodgers is there. You're not in the same category. You're not even in the same fucking atmosphere or stratosphere. It's not even close. You do got AK. You do got a great O-line. You got a great coach. You still got, some good pieces, Lattimore, Cam Jordan. You still got Demario Davis, a.k.a. the glue, which I love. I would take a lot of these guys on my team. But stop lying to yourself that the Saints are the same team as they were 4 years ago. They're not. They're going to have a long year, and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. They'll probably go 9-8 at best. And that's not me talking shit. That's facts. And then if they end up going 9-8, 8-9, I told you so. All right? I don't say shit just to say shit. This isn't a fucking show for hot takes where I talk shit about all the teams besides the Bucks. I'm fucking respected. All right? 20,000 subscribers, 3.4 million views, 100,000 hours. All right, dedicated to the channel. I don't just say shit to say shit. My shit has backbone and meaning with all the reading and film study that I do. All right, I'm no fucking amateur. Come on, Truly Greens. Look in the mirror. You could end up overachieving and hit 10 wins, but I don't think you're going to do it. And then especially if AK-41 has an injury, Michael Thomas, Cam Jordan, Demario Davis, you're fucked. Lattimore, you're fucked because you have no one to sub in for him if those guys get hurt. If Michael Thomas goes down, you're fucked. If AK goes down, you're really fucked. If AK goes down within the first 5 games of the season, you'll probably only win 6 or 7 games for the year. Facts. It's a big part of the team. Tyron Crafton in the building. What a do. Traycon can't separate, neither can Callaway. Exactly. See, I love it when Saints fans are actually realistic. You'll get Brute Saint is an honest Saint fan. Calvin Griffin, an honest Saint fan. You can't be like Young Nola or Truly Greens and just believe that you're going to have the same exact team, even though you drafted differently, right? You lost free agents. Other guys went to other teams, and then you're going to have the same exact results as you did the last 4 years. It's not going to happen. It's not happening. You had your run. The run's over, all right? Now you got to be able to rebuild. That's not talking shit. It's facts. Calvin Griffin says he'll never throw for 6,000 yards. Patrick Mahomes, I would truly believe if anyone could, it's him. I would never say never. 60 tutties, 6,000 yards, why not? Why wouldn't Mahomes be able to do that? If anyone could, it would be him. That's facts. Tighten up, facts. You don't have to like him and respect him at the same time. Tighten up in the building. I can't wait for the Titans this season. And if you guys end up getting Julio Jones for like a 3rd and 4th rounder, A.J. Brown, Julio, Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill might be one of my favorite quarterbacks in this league that never gets love. I love him as much as I love Justin Herbert. Guy never gets talked about, always, gets overlooked and passed. Justin Herbert is top 10 quarterback right now. You don't go like 31-10 in your rookie season and break all these fucking records if he's not going to be a top 10 QB moving forward. He is the real deal Holyfield. But Ryan Tannehill isn't sexy. All right, but I'll tell you what, if Ryan Tannehill was on the Saints, you probably would win 10, 11, 12 games with a player like that. Very, very underrated. To me, the most underrated quarterback in this league is Ryan Tannehill. Absolutely love him, and I love watching Titan games. And I want to be able to see what they do. Got Bud Dupree in there. You don't have Corey Davis anymore, so that's a little concerning. You're going to be able to have to figure that out. No Jonnu Smith either. So the Colts are gunning for you. They're going to try to take that division from you. They're going to try to win it, all right? But if Bud Dupree can make up for the Jonnu Smith and the Corey Davis, depending on what you do there, unless A.J. Brown gets like 15 tutties, which is possible, or Derrick Henry goes for 2,000 yards, or Tannehill just maybe rushes for more touchdowns, and has to be a dual threat since Corey Davis has gone to the Jets and Jonnu Smith's gone to the Pats. I'm all in on the Titans, but those 2 losses really concern me. But I'm excited to watch what they got going forward. Matt Payton from Hawaii. Go Ducks, my guy. Can't wait to do Ducks games. Can't wait for Oregon to be back on. Watch Kayvon Thibodeau, future first pick in the draft that's not a quarterback, as well as the NFL games. How are you, my guy? Matt Payton from Hawaii. What it do, man? How's the weather up in Hawaii for you? I bet it's great. Cash out. So no Saints fans would have brought that up if they won the Super Bowl. Exactly. Brute Saint. WDN. Message from a Golden Eagle. Yeah, most likely the NFC South or West will be facing the Chiefs in Super Bowl 56. That's what it's looking like. That's what it's looking like. It's either going to be the Bucks, Rams. I mean, there might be some other teams that, come up, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, just based off depth, schedule, I got one of the easiest schedules, like 4th easiest. So I think the route to getting to the NFC Championship game, as long as I don't have any serious injuries with Tom, the offensive line, the defense, Devin White, I think there's a great possibility that they can get there. And the Chiefs, with all those weapons that they got on the offensive line, Brown from the Ravens, Orlando Brown, great player, left tackle. Joe Tooney from the Pats, great player. All right, Kyle Long coming out of retirement, used to be on the Bears. When he was on the Bears and played at Oregon, all pro. I don't know if he'll be an all pro player this year. All right, Laurent Duvernay Tardif. All right, coming back from being a COVID doctor. Right, Niang. I mean, you got depth on depth on depth. All right, so you don't have some of the guys that you had last year, and it's going to take some time for that chemistry. But the O-line is much better than Mitchell Schwartz, much better than Eric Fisher, even though he went to the Colts. This is a line in a team that's going for another Super Bowl, and that's facts. And I hope the Chiefs get there because that's who I would want to play. No disrespect to the Bills and Bills Mafia or the Browns. I'm really rooting for those two teams to take the next step. I would love to see the Browns in the Super Bowl or the Bills in the Super Bowl for those fan bases. All right? I love when I see teams struggle and get better. The Cardinals, another fan base that I would love to see in the NFC Championship game. I love Kyler. I love everything that they're doing on that roster. All right? But offensive line issues, defense is getting better, but we don't really know what we're going to get from J.J. Swat. But there'll be a lot of double teams, with him and, Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones. So we'll see where it goes. But the Cardinals are getting closer and closer for making that little push as well. Brute saying, I would say Drew made all our receivers look good. Jameis ain't no Drew Breeze. So we need upgrades, whether it's quarterback or weapons for the QB. Exactly. And you're all expecting these, people, like Truly Greens, that Jameis is going to produce the same way as Drew. Have the same kind of rapport as Drew. No. You know what I mean? This guy got LASIK, and you're hoping for the best. But remember, he went 33 and 30. You can throw for 5,000 yards, but if you throw 30 interceptions or fumble the football away or throw a bunch of pick sixes, you're not going to get to the playoffs, let alone sniff the Super Bowl or NFC Championship game. I essentially had 85% of the same kind of team that I had with Jameis, and we could barely sniff 5 to 7 wins. You bring in Tom and Gronk and AB, yeah, but really it was Antoine Winfield Jr., Tristan Wirfs, and Tom Brady changing the culture and not turning the fucking football over, right? And we got to a Super Bowl and won. Bottom line. We'll see what Jameis does. I definitely want to crush him, with all that fucking dancing nonsense, and that 38-3, and obviously he wants revenge to play his former team to say, hey, you should have not giving up on me. But hey, Tom Brady, Jameis Winston, that's an easy one. You know what I mean? We gave Jameis plenty of opportunities to be the guy, right? But his off-the-field issues is really what rubbed me wrong. If this guy was like Andrew Luck, a guy that didn't get in trouble, that really studied, and was, a guy that I could really respect, a Steve McNair type of player, hell yeah, I'll take Jameis Winston all day and every day. But he proved over and over and over again at Florida State and at Tampa, he's immature. He's a me guy, not a team guy, and I don't want someone like that. And essentially, even though he might have not been able to see 5,000 yards passing, that don't mean shit if you're not a team player and you got to be able to not turn the football over, bottom line, if you're a QB in the NFL. And that's facts. Brute saying, I still believe we'll be fine defensively, but offense will be stagnant. Yeah, defense should be pretty good. T-Rex, Jenkins, Sheldon Rankins being gone concerns me a little bit, but Demario Davis, stud. I would take him on my team on Tampa in a heartbeat. Love him. Cameron Jordan, love him. All right. Lattimore, one of the biggest shit talkers, him and Mike Evans. He shuts Mike Evans down a lot, right? One of the best rivalries back and forth. They love to talk shit. But I'll tell you what, I would take Lattimore on my team. And you won't hear that from a lot of other fans in the NFC South saying, "Hey, I would take DJ Moore on the Bucks," or "I would take Lattimore on the Bucks." And you wouldn't hear Saints fans. They probably would say, "Yeah, I would take Godwin or Mike Evans or Levante David or Devin White." Who wouldn't? You know what I mean? But it's all about the chemistry and the coaching and the continuity, and that's facts. Let's see here. They gave us the NFC East versus the South. What's your overall record prediction? Stephen McGinnis in the building. Will Wentz be good again? I think so behind that line. Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely think. Let me even scroll up because I missed your first message here as well. Let me see here. Let me go through. I went a little bit too far. I'll get to you here in just a second, Stephen. Or you're young Nola. Get him. Absolutely. You know how it goes, man. I got to be realistic. Saints aren't going to be that good, to be honest. But they still might crack the playoffs. They might be able to get to 10 wins. If you get to 10-7, you might be able to get into a wild card. You know what I mean? But everything would have to go right. Offense, defense, no injuries, they might be able to get to 10 wins. But I think more 8-9, 9-8. That's where I'm kind of seeing. Not a bad team, with 3 wins or 4 wins. Nothing like that. Not like the Jets or the Jags or the Houston Texans, the dumpster fire of the NFL. They're going to win games. They might split with Tampa Bay. I wouldn't be shocked. All right, but besides the offensive line, AK-41, MT, Sean Payton, and some players on the defense, Demario Davis, Lattimore, Cameron Jordan, right? Certain players that they got, there's a lot of holes there. So I'm kind of intrigued to see what we're going to be able to get. Will the Packers be better off with Aaron Rodgers? Fuck no. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, they're fucked. Are you kidding me? Are you going to win with Blake Bortles or fucking Jordan Love? They're fucked. They're fucked. Capital F-U-C-K-E-D. Fucked. All right? You had Bart Starr, Brett Favre, all right? And then you had Aaron Rodgers. You did him dirty. You better pray to fucking God, LaFleur, that you get him back. Because if Rodgers goes, you're fucked. All right? No playoffs for them. And then the Vikings will take the spot. That's facts. Let's see here. Calvin says, Saints deep as fuck on D-line and O-line. O-line arguably might be the best in the league, besides like the Colts and a few other teams, with Quentin Nelson. Their line's great, right? But the Saints line, if I had to look at player for player, I might say the Saints might have the best O-line in football. And I'm a Bucs fan. So if I'm such a fucking hater and I'm such a shit talker, of just rivals in my division, especially the Saints or the Panthers or the Falcons, why the fuck would I say that? Obviously, I know the team. I know the roster. I follow them very, very closely. Go to the team website, watch film. But if you look at player for player, Ryan Ramczyk, he's that dude. He's the anchor of that line. They have an amazing offensive line. That's facts. See, D-line, O-line, deep as fuck. They won't be in the playoff mix, but because of lack of weapons, first-round loss is their ceiling this year. Agreed. And I don't know how they did on that draft. I thought they could have drafted better. You know what I mean? Terrace Marshall Jr., Asante Samuel Jr., if you would have got those 2 guys in the draft, I think the Saints fans and even me and the rest of the league would have a little bit different perception of the Saints. But again, we don't know what we're getting from Jameis. He could be good, he could be bad, but realistically, he'll probably get pulled at some point in the season, and Taysom Hill will be the guy moving forward. You can almost put money on that. What week it is, who knows? But more than likely, by week 5 to 10, kind of like the same window for maybe Trey Lance replacing Jimmy Garoppolo, or maybe a Mac Jones replacing, a Cam Newton, you might end up getting Taysom Hill replacing Jameis Winston, especially if they end up going like 2-3. They might be like, fuck this guy. Let's get him out of there and put in Taysom Hill, even though that takes away the Swiss Army knife. But we might be able to not turn the ball over and help you win games. Message from an Eagle. I think the Falcons could beat the Saints. Let's not get too sexy there, okay? Yeah, they got Kyle Pitts. Matt Ryan's getting older. Julio probably won't be there June 1st. Let's not kid ourselves. You're an Eagle fan saying that, and from someone that is an NFC South guy, the Falcons are not going to beat the Saints. Even with Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, they have too many good weapons. You can hand the ball off to AK-41 40 times, and you're going to beat the Falcons twice, okay? You know what I mean? Even if you didn't, throw the football that much, to MT or the rest of the weapons, the Saints are not losing to the Falcons. I'd be shocked if they split or if they got swept. The Falcons don't have a defense. They don't have an O-line, all right? Julio's going to be gone. So I know Kyle Pitts will be great, all right? But who do you really have besides Ridley's amazing. He's one of my breakout guys going into 2021. He already kind of broke out last year. I already told you, like him and Gallup and certain guys a couple years ago, Godwin. I told you in the last couple years what guys were going to break out, and they did. A.J. Brown, guys that were going to get better and better and better. But I usually try to go for guys that aren't the number 1 receiver, the number 2, number 3 receiver, putting up number 1 receiver numbers. Corey Davis, right, is another one of those guys that really took his game to the next level, all right? But Calvin Ridley, Kyle Pitts, that's nice, but Julio ain't going to be there. The Falcons are not beating the Saints. Don't disrespect the NFC South. Don't disrespect the Saints. And I'm a Bucs fan. Come on, man. I know the teams, all right? They're not in the same stratosphere. The Falcons are at the very bottom. They might overachieve and hit maybe 6 to 8 wins, but overall, the Saints' product is much better than the Falcons. How dare you say that the Falcons are better than the Saints? I know you're just trying to poke the bear with the Saints fans in the room. But, yeah, they're definitely the Panthers are more in line with the Saints. and they could end up getting second place in the division. It wouldn't surprise me if it ends up going Bucks, Panthers, Saints, Falcons. But the Saints could still be number 2. And as long as you get in the dance, anything can happen. And that's facts. Falcons beating the Saints. The games might be closer. I love Koo, the Asian kicker. He's my guy in fantasy. Love him. But they don't got enough, man. Ridley's a beast, though. Love him. I'll grab him in fantasy. Steven McGinnis, my boy, my dude. How are you? When a Hall of Famer QB leaves, your run is over. He said, get over it, Saints fans. Brady's got your ass for the next 2 years. Probably, right? Until they end up getting their Spencer Rattler or Emily, from Florida. Or there's a lot of these other. USC's got a quarterback, Clovis. So there's a North Carolina's got one too, Howell. So if you go back and look, if they get one of these guys that could be their Justin Fields, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, type of guy, maybe that they can, get back to playoff football again. But again, once you have your run of 4 to 5 years, it's hard to contain that long-term success. Every team usually drops off and has to rebuild unless you're like the New England Patriots where they had that 20-year run. But again, they had Belichick and Brady, and they never lost either one. And that's facts. Let's see here. He said it's a bitter rivalry. Yeah, Falcons and Saints is a bitter rivalry. Now you're getting the Saints and Buccaneers is a nice rivalry. I still like the Panther rivalry. I like playing the Falcons too. NFC South is fun to watch. Yeah, Julio and A.J. Brown. Julio and Tanny. Could you imagine? That could really take them to the next step. Obviously with Bud Dupree there, I'm excited about that. But you lost some pieces on defense too, so you're going to have to be able to see where it goes. But it wouldn't shock me if the Titans win the AFC South, all right? But the Colts are coming. Carson Wentz doesn't have weapons at wide receiver, but he can hand the ball off to Jonathan Taylor 25, 30 times. But at some point, it's got to be someone other than T.Y. Hilton or Michael Pittman Jr., and that's what concerns me. The O-line's great. He'll have more time, all right? But with that being said, he's got to make good decisions with that extra second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds. And I'm not really impressed with a lot of the weapons that they have. They're old. T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman is inexperienced, right? I love the running back and Jonathan Taylor, and I love Quentin Nelson in the line. The line is fantastic, all right? Quentin Nelson's great, arguably the best offensive lineman in football, all right? But wide receiver and tight end core, not very good. Defense, great. DeForest Buckner, Darius Leonard, Kwity Paye from Michigan. I love that. All right, but at some point, Carson Wentz is going to have to throw the ball under pressure, and that might be the difference between the Titans winning the division over the Colts rather than the Colts taking the division from the Titans. At this point, I like the Titans' offense better, but I like the Colts' defense more. But we'll have to see which one ends up being stronger towards the end of the season. Will Wentz be good again? I think so behind the line. It might not be this year, but if they can get some wide receivers and tight ends to join the core, I think Wentz can be good again. You're with Reich. You're with Jonathan Taylor. You got a good offensive line. Great offensive line. He was sacked 50 sack lunches in Philly in 12 games. Yum, 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 yum. 12 games, 50 sack lunches. The most in the NFL, all right? The Colts are not going to have him on the ground more than 10 times in a season, probably under 10 for the whole year, okay? So he'll have time, but they don't really have the weapons or the personnel for him to be great. Will they win the division at 10 or 11 wins and go to the playoffs? Yeah, but I don't think they're AFC championship game worthy just yet. You can go a one and done, but I would say the Titans are going to be right there with them. But the thing is that worries me is Jonnu Smith's gone, Corey Davis is gone, but Bud Dupree's there, so that's nice. So we're going to have to see. Darius Leonard, Kwity Paye, DeForest Buckner. Those are some superstars right there. Kwity Paye can be the guy, all right? DeForest Buckner from Oregon, stud. Darius Leonard, top 4 linebacker in the league, stud. Arguably the best linebacker in football right now, all right? Not named Bobby Wagner, Fred Warner, or Devin White. Darius Leonard is a stud. I would take him in a heartbeat. But I think we might have to wait a year or two until Wentz gets more weapons to really judge how great he is. T.Y. will be able to be okay, but, he's kind of running on his last leg. We remember what the team looked like when Reggie Wayne and some of these guys were running on their last leg. Marvin Harrison, when they're on their last leg, they need more weapons. If anyone needs wide receivers and tight ends, it's Carson Wentz and the Colts. And they'll get some eventually. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Truly Greens, we might not be good on paper, but when we get on the field. That's another just believing that your team is the same team as the last 4 years. Not happening, my guy. Saints will compete in every game, but they dropped the ball not getting weapons in the offseason. Facts, and they had a horrible draft, in my opinion. Winston more mature than when he was with your bums. Hey, he's not mature at all. He never will be. And we won the Super Bowl. Ended Drew Brees' career. Where you at? Can Mahomes retire Brady this year? Nope, not happening. Not happening. Lattimore, lazy-ass trash until he faced Julio or Mike Evans. Interesting take from a Saints fan. Brute saying, I agree. I think Jameis being around this atmosphere changed him in a good way. Yeah, like when he was dancing around with no mask in the locker room. Same old jackass Jameis Winston. You can back him because he's your quarterback, but that motherfucker is a me guy. That motherfucker is not a team guy. That motherfucker is a me guy. Good riddance. You know, and you'll start to realize that he is not the guy for the Saints long term. Facts. Packers are fucked. I'm so happy. Bear fucking down. Stephen McGinnis. And I like Justin Fields and what they got right there. Defense, you know, with what they got. You know, Vic Fangio. You're going to have to be able to see after, you know, he left to go to Denver. I was really scratching my head. But, you know, it all depends on Justin Fields. Trubisky's out. He's the backup to, you know, Josh Allen in the Bills, which is a great spot for him, right? But they still need more weapons than Allen Robinson. Yeah, you know, you got Montgomery and you got Tariq Cohen. You got some there, but the offensive line needs a little bit more work, right? It's not like you guys got Olin Kreutz, you know, there on the offensive line, or Kyle Long. Your boy knows football. I can go back to, you know, the greats when they were there. Offensive line needs work, but if anyone can get them to the playoffs, it's your boy Justin Fields, and I think that's a great fit. I love him. Colts gave up 14 sacks. So going into this year, 10 to 15, very realistic. Nola said, how the hell, I ain't know you was live, no notification. No notification. Man, oh man. Say Wentz will still miss wide open passes. Julio, who knows? Who knows where Julio's going? Who knows where Julio's going? I got to be able to run a quick errand here real quick. Go grab some water, and I got to do something real quick. So give me like 2-3 minutes. I'll be right back.
Seasons for the Cleveland Browns and appeared in 10 straight league championship games. He was also a member of the National Football League's 75th anniversary team. So he makes the 75 team and the 100 team.
Well, Otto Graham was the first player taken by Paul Brown when he became the head coach of the Cleveland Browns. And that was a pretty good pick. Single wing tailback All-American out of Northwestern. So Otto could throw as well as run. And he was able to escape the pocket. He was tough. Otto was tough and could run, pick up first downs, make yardage in the open field. You had to tackle him. He wasn't a quarterback. This guy could, you know, had good playing strength. Here you can see his downfield accuracy. Otto had great leadership and seemed to always play his best in big moments. That's Dante Lavelli, one of his favorite targets there. You know, he continued his football career as a coach and athletic director at Coast Guard Academy. He actually coached against me when I was in college at Wesleyan. Graham was a special player, and not just the statistics, but the championships that he won. He had great leadership, great ability, and this is his final game, beating the Rams for the championship, and coming off the field, Coach Brown giving him the opportunity to come off, be recognized by the fans, by the team, and the crowd loved him.
Crowd goes wild. And there's one more quarterback to look at through classic film and
Oh, man.
I know he's special to both of you.
All right, I'm back. I am back.
NFL 100 all-time team from the Baltimore.
Time to rehydrate.
Johnny U went from a star of Pittsburgh Sandlots to a star with the Colts, and he led Baltimore to 2 NFL championships and 1 Super Bowl victory, a 3-time most valuable player of this great league. Coach.
Johnny and Chris, I know this is one of your.
All right, let me take a quick look. Nola in the building. What to do? How are you?
As a young kid, was this
Hope everything's going good. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of reading and a lot of research. But like I said, I missed the Fanatic family too much. You know, eventually I got to hop online. I'm in the process of I'm moving to a 3-bedroom too, so I'm gonna have my own space for the studio. So the girlfriend works from home. She's gonna work in that room. So instead of having it in the bedroom, for the studio, I'm gonna be able to have my own kind of area. So that means more streaming, more reaction videos. You're just gonna see me online a lot more. And then once I get the TV and everything set up in there, if I end up doing some, baseball games, maybe some NBA playoffs, more college football, more NFL, like I said, I'm going to have the room and the area to myself. So definitely be on the lookout for a lot more material from now into the NFL season. And then also when the NFL season comes around, I'm going to try to do, more games, more reaction videos. I'm going to try to do as much as I can. Let's see here. Said Falcons scored 25 points per game. Defense gave up 26 a game. Yeah, and then obviously with Kyle Pitts, they're going to be great. Now, it would be awesome if Julio, Pitts, Ridley, and Matt Ryan and Gurley, if they could keep all that, together. But obviously Julio, June 1st, more than likely, he's going to go for, who knows what, a second and a third and a fourth. It better not be something horrible, like a fourth and a fifth. You know what I mean? Everyone is going to be like, what the hell? I could have got him. But I don't know where he's going to go, but if he goes to Green Bay or the Titans, it could really take a team to the next level. He's still a little bit injury prone, and he's getting a little bit older, so I don't really know how many good years Julio has left, maybe 3 to 5, elite years. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a matchup nightmare. I would take him on Tampa Bay in a heartbeat, but, it all depends. If you can't afford him on that contract, at least you got Kyle Pitts now to take over the Julio role, and you got a guy in Calvin Ridley, who might be one of the more underrated, up-and-coming wide receivers in this league. And that's facts.
Against the Giants and the part of his 2-minute drive that Johnny was so famous for. This is a good play here. The Barry ends up getting
Saints, Bucks, Panthers, and Falcons. It's still that order. Nola, you're delirious. Obviously, you don't know football. You haven't looked at your depth chart. You think that your wide receiving core is still fine, the defense doesn't have holes, and Drew Brees is still on the roster. You had your run where you were a top 5 Super Bowl caliber team for the last 4 years. You no longer are that team. You have a lot of holes, a lot of depth, and you're not making the playoffs this season. You're going to go 9-8 or 8-9. You're going to rebuild, hopefully get a quarterback of the future in Howell, Clovis. There's a lot of these other guys, Emery, Emini. There's all these guys that are out there. Oklahoma, USC, North Carolina, Florida. They all have quarterbacks that are going to be very high on the draft. But this team is nowhere near what it was. And Drew's no longer there. Come on, man. Stop acting like Drew is still there. If we can stay healthy, we will be competitive. Eagles. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like I said, but 3 first-round draft picks, if Jalen Hurts, if they don't feel comfortable with him, I know Devontae Smith will be good, but obviously you got Kerrigan coming in. I like that signing and that pickup. But if you guys miss the playoffs, it actually might be a good thing. Then you can scoop up talent. Imagine getting Kayvon Thibodeau on the Eagles. That could really make a big leap for them, because it's not like you're going to have Washington win year in and year out in the NFC East, and that's facts. Cowboys should be able to make the playoffs this year too. I'm not sold on Dak staying healthy for the full season, but Micah Parsons there. You got a new D coordinator, a new vibe, a new look. Depending on what you can get, it wouldn't surprise me if Dak and the Cowboys, right, Trey Lance and Trey Area and the Niners, Cowboys and Niners make the playoffs, and maybe the Saints and the Seahawks do not. If we're going to be talking about teams maybe making it this year and teams that are not. And also you have to look at the schedule. You have to look at the schedule and who you're playing. And if you got a tough schedule, it's not like you play the same divisions year in and year out. It changes. Look at the schedule, my guy. Look at the schedule. If Julio leaves ATL, I'll have way more respect than I already have. Yeah, well, then you wouldn't have to face him. But you still got Ridley, and Kyle Pitts is going to be a problem. Kyle Pitts is going to be a problem, and that is a fact. Julio to the Bears, that would be nice. Calvin Griffin. If Julio goes to the Bears, Justin Fields to Julio, that with Allen Robinson on the other side, that would be nice. That would be nice. Here we go, Nola saying some dumb shit again. Saints still first in the division. You're making yourself look stupid. If you want to keep saying that to the fans in the room, yeah, cash out hybrid. That's the same emoji that I send him every day when he says dumb shit like that. You know what I mean? Just a blind Saints fan saying shit that's not true. Yeah, and the Saints were supposed to win the Super Bowl last year. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, noodle arm. We can't get it done. And last time I checked, he didn't win the Super Bowl, and we ended Drew Brees' career. So Ryan Trick, let him know. Cash out, let him know. Let him know.
Look how the shirt on the left attracts pet hair like a magnet. Pet hair is no match for
And then Nola's come back as cash out Browns first in y'all division, but the Ravens are making the playoffs. That's probably more than the Saints can say, because I don't have them in the playoffs at this point. Yeah, would you rather be Super Bowl champs or division champs? Yeah, division champs don't mean shit. The Browns can be first, Nola, but at least I have a QB. Oh, mic drop. Mic drop. Mic drop. Yeah, if Lamar was on the Saints, you would be all over it. People are so bandwagonish, you know what I mean, depending on who they have on the roster. If Lamar was on the Saints, I mean, you could probably pencil the Saints in at an NFC championship game or at least a very, very deep run. You know what I mean? Everyone can talk shit like that. It's like all the Eagles fans talking shit about Dak, and now you got a Dak 2.0 and Jalen Hurts. You know, be careful what you wish for and what you talk shit about, because you never know, that player that you talk shit about might be on your team in a year or two. And that's big facts. Nola, you need to do some research, man. All you do is you watch, dumb shit on Instagram and play Madden. He said, he not Michael Vick. Yeah, he's better than Michael Vick. Come on, my guy. You got to be able to come up with some better comebacks, my guy, if you're talking NFL. It's like everyone else is like in college and you're like in kindergarten. You're talking like kindergarten facts. Come on, my guy. Come on, my guy. Oh, my. Just comical whenever I hear Nola talk in the chat. He really truly believes everything that he types in the chat too. It's not even trolling. You know what I mean? That's what makes it even funnier, that he actually believes everything that he types. Hilarious. Fucking hilarious. Lamar Action Jackson, cash out, let him know. Packers should get Julio Jones. Man, Aaron Rodgers, that could definitely make him happy, and that's big facts. Well, now you're saying dumb shit that we already know. Lamar hasn't beat the Chiefs yet. Of course, nobody can beat the Chiefs. Who the fuck can beat the Chiefs? Nobody. The Bills and the Browns have the best shot, and they're still not going to be able to do it. He said, please not Emery. You don't like him? He can run. He's a scrambling QB from Florida. But obviously, you're a Bama guy, so you got no respect for the Florida Gators. Said, bro, y'all blaming Drew for not making the Super Bowl? Make up your mind. Oh, man. Leighton Vander Esch. Yeah, well, we know Sean Lee retired. We'll have to see if Leighton Vander Esch can, get out of those injury problems that he had. And when he's healthy, he's a beast too. You got him and Micah Parsons. I mean, that's a nice 1-2 combo, but we don't know if Vander Esch and his neck and everything can stay healthy. And that's big facts. We got Sean Payton. We good. You need more than that, my guy. You're going to need a lot more than that, my guy. Shrek, let him know. He's delusional. He's very delusional. Dylan W26 in the building. Do I think Lamar's better than Michael Vick? Yeah, I do. I think Lamar is a dual threat. I would like to see Lamar, stay in the pocket more. You know what I mean? And obviously Michael Vick was one of the best college football players at Virginia Tech. One of the best, NFL players, as a lefty that's out there. You got Steve Young, Boomer Esiason, Scotty Mitchell. There's been a lot of lefties over the year, but Michael Vick is nowhere near Steve Young, who's arguably the best left-hander ever. Steve Young is my guy. Niners. Bang, bang, Niner gang. All right? But I think Lamar Jackson, for being that type of quarterback, Michael Vick is kind of like a Randall Cunningham, but more present day within the last 20 years. But Lamar has more potential to be Michael. Michael Vick is almost like a cheat code. Lamar is a guy that, a lot of people don't have him in his top 5 QB in this league. Neither do I. I think he's top 10. But I think that with his skill set, depending on who he gets at wide receiver, he could be that number 5 quarterback, and compete with Deshaun Watson if he plays, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, and that type of class. You know what I mean? But you just need to be able to see him not just run, but we need to see him be better decision maker, better on third down. And then we got Bateman this year, so we'll be able to see if he can end up, making Bateman a star, if he can end up making Hollywood Brown better. And you got to think, they're the team that throws the ball the least. They don't throw the ball at all. They run the football. They hand it off to Dobbins, Gus Edwards. They run the football, or you're going to end up running it with Lamar. So hopefully at some point, Hopefully at some point we can see Lamar stay in the pocket, and then that's going to take his game to the next level, and then everyone will agree, yeah, he is a top 5 quarterback. But as of right now, I kind of like, Justin Herbert, Watson, Kyler a little bit more. But I still think Lamar is a stud. He's a top 10 quarterback, but I would take a lot of guys over him, but I think he's going to lead the Ravens to the playoffs this season, and that's facts. Strick, let him know. Just because you from NOLA don't mean they the best team every year. Have some common sense. NOLA don't have common sense. Come on now. It's like Truly Greens. He's in the same boat as NOLA, thinking that the Saints team, no matter who's on the team, right? It doesn't matter who's on the team or not, right? They're going to be just as good as they were the year before, which makes no fucking sense, all right? Look at your roster, all right? And tell me something, NOLA, without actually going to the team website, name off some players, all right, on the offensive line. All right? Not named Ryan Ramczyk. You can't do it. All right? Name a wide receiver. All right? Not name Michael Thomas. All right? Name some defensive players that aren't Cameron Jordan or Demario Davis or Lattimore. Got to do your research, my guy. Your roster ain't good. Even Calvin Griffin will tell you. You just hopped in the chat late, man. Brute Saint and Calvin Griffin are Saints fans, and they even admitted, man, the team is not looking too good this year. The draft didn't look very good. The best case scenario for you guys this season, 10 wins. And that's if everything goes right. 10-7. That's best case scenario. I see you guys more of a 9-8, 8-9 team. If you have serious injuries with AK-41 or Cameron Jordan or Demario Davis, you might go down to like 7. But I think around 8 or 9 wins. You know what I mean? They got a great O-line. You got AK. But again, football isn't won with 5 guys on offense and 5 guys on defense. You got to have 9 out of 11 on offense and 9 out of 11 on defense. Or if you have 7 or 8 on offense, you better pray that those other 3 or 4 are at least above average to average and not ass juice, as Calvin Griffin would say. That's facts. I'm back, baby. Let's talk some NFL. Tim Tebow is on the roster for now. I hope he makes the team. He's a motivational guy. Jesus loves him. He could be a guy that can make a difference for the Jags. Instead of winning maybe 4 games this year, maybe they can get to about 6 to 7. And Tim Tebow could be a big part of it. There's still a lot of time, to be able to see if he can make the roster, if he can block anybody, if he can run routes, if he can catch. But Tim Tebow, being on the Jags, I'm absolutely looking forward to it. And that's big facts. NOLA, just like you guys were going to win the Super Bowl last year, the year before, the year before, the year before. It seems like it's a broken record. You say the same shit every single year, man. Come on now. Yeah, O-line, D-line, a good linebacker, a great running back, and that's it. No QB, terrible wide receiver room. It's like you're nowhere near the Chiefs. You're nowhere near the Buccaneers. All right? Nowhere even close. And then even the teams that people don't think that are that going to be maybe that good, Cowboys, Niners, I think both those teams are probably going to be in the playoffs. Both of those teams are probably going to be better than the Saints this year. And you still got Seattle, the Cardinals, Vikings. We don't know what you're going to get there. That might be the most comparable team that you have is the Vikings. You might make the playoffs. You might not. You're not going to win the division, especially if Aaron Rodgers is on Green Bay. Yeah, we are going to see. We are going to see. But you have no Super Bowl in your future. I'll tell you that. There is no Super Bowl for you guys. Not with Jameis bum-ass Winston. I'll tell you that right now. He sucks. And you guys are going to be crying, and then you'll be pulling him out and plugging in Taysom Hill probably within the first 5 games. Depending on what the record is, 2-3, 3-2, he's going to get the fucking boot, and then boom, you're going to put in Taysom Hill for the rest of the year.
Hot dog or chicken? Only pay for what you need.
Shrick isn't a Dolphins fan. Come on, Nola. Know the people in the room. Shrick is a Chiefs fan and a Florida Gator fan. Come on, my guy. Just because he's a Florida Gator fan doesn't mean he's a Dolphins fan. You wish you had the Chiefs roster. You're nowhere near it, man. You better hope so, Brute Saint. You know what I mean? I want you guys to be competitive. I want the Saints to be competitive, but they're not going to be competitive until you get the next Drew Brees. The next Howell. You're going to need to get that next guy at Oklahoma. I don't know if Clovis is going to be good enough for USC. Howell on UNC, North Carolina. Spencer Rattler, from Oklahoma might be the best one. Emily Bates, all right, from Florida, but he's more of a scrambler. So, I mean, unless you guys get Spencer Rattler, I mean, it might be a while. Unless you can get like a Kirk Cousins or a Ryan Tannehill. Now, if you get a Kirk Cousins or a Ryan Tannehill, then maybe you can get shit moving, but it might be a while.
Career and since. And he never gets old. Just because I've met him doesn't mean
Ryan Trick, let him know, man. Nola just thinks because he's from NOLA that he's entitled to everything. You know? Oh, shit. I'm back, baby. Let's talk NFL, Tim Tebow, Buccaneers, Saints, Eagles, Chiefs, whatever you want to talk about. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, NW Sports Fanatics. The thing is, Jameis won't be it, all right? And the thing about it is, if your wide receiver room is weak, right, what does Jameis need? Wide receivers and tight ends. You're not going to be able to be a good football team, right? You got an offensive line. You got Sean Payton. But if you don't have weapons at the wide receiver, not named Michael Thomas, no tight end, I mean, better than Jared Cook. We'll see what we're getting with Troutman and some of these other guys. But if you don't have tight ends and wide receivers, how the fuck do you think Jameis is going to be good? Like, honestly. The defense lost pieces. Janoris Jenkins, Sheldon Rankins, T-Rex, and then you're still going to be the same defense? Come on. You know what I mean? Come on now. Come on now. Matt Payton, I'm hoping for Tim Tebow to do good, man. Yeah, they ain't making the playoffs, Strick. I agree, man. I mean, like I said, I break down every single team, every single roster. So you got no wide receivers besides Michael Thomas. Tight end room is going to be questionable. The draft was a failure, all right? You lost pieces on defense like T-Rex, Sheldon Rankins, Janoris Jenkins. You can't just act like losing all these guys, even though Jared Cook to you was a bum, all right? But you can't lose all these pieces on the roster, bring in guys that are unproven in the draft, and lose a Hall of Fame quarterback and Drew Brees and think that you're still going to be the same team that you were in the last 4 years. You're smoking crack. Lay off the crack, Nola. Lay off the crack, because it ain't going to be like that. Yeah, it ain't talking shit. It's reality. See, that's the problem with you and all these other people that are out there in the world, right, thinking it's talking shit. I'm just spitting facts and letting you know how it is. You just can't hear it, all right, because you're just so used to negative energy in your life. You're just so used to talking shit all the time to people and people talking shit to you. And so when I say something that you take as shit taking and shit calling and calling you out and talking shit, all right, when it actually is just spitting facts, you can't see the difference. You know, you're not in the same category of the elite teams. You're not the Bucks. You're not the Chiefs. You're not the Rams. You're not the Seahawks. You're not the Cardinals. You're not even the fucking Niners. And, you know, chances are the Cowboys will probably be better this year too. So, yeah, exactly. But I still respect your guys' team. All right. You know, I mean, you guys got a lot of players on your roster I would take on Tampa Bay in a heartbeat. All right. But bringing in a quarterback that, you know, has, you know, issues on and off the field. He got the LASIK, which is a bonus. But chemistry with wide receivers. Yeah, you got AK, but you can't assume that AK is going to carry your team. Because think about this. If Jameis can't throw and he's not accurate, right? Even with the great offensive line that you guys have, you don't think that they're going to stack 8-9 in the box? They're going to stack 8-9 in the box, pressure the shit out of Jameis. What do you think? AK is going to bail him out on every first, second, and third down? No. MT is not going to bail him out every first, second, and third down. You don't have Emmanuel Sanders there either. So the wide receiving core is not good. You know what I mean? So who's he going to throw to? He can't throw to AK-41 20 times a game. You can't hand it off 40 times to AK-41, even though he's my favorite running back in the league. You know, that's facts. You will see. You will see.
Transfer that confidence to your teammates, because you can't do it without them. If they have confidence in you,
Hey, see, that's the difference, though, because you're too ignorant to know the difference between me talking shit, right, and me actually spitting facts, all right? You know what I mean? If I was so fucking stupid and I didn't know what I was talking about, how did I get 13 out of the first 15 picks in the draft? Tell me that. I'm not going to be right on every pick on every playoff prediction pool, all right? But, you know, you don't get to fucking 20,000, right? 3.4 million views, you know, over 1,100 videos in the library for nothing. You know, if I was a fucking dummy or if I was some bandwagon Buccaneer fan. I mean, let's fucking recognize for a second. I've been a fan of the Buccaneers longer than you've been fucking alive. All right, 1995, my guy. All right, all right. I've been a fan longer than you've been fucking alive. All right, you 22, 23. I'm almost double in your age, my guy. All right. Tebow, comeback player of the year. We'll see. We'll see. Calvin ain't going to rescue you. You're drowning by yourself, my guy. You're drowning with Truly Greens, the two most delusional Saints fan on planet Earth. Yeah, you ain't going to show us shit. You're going to show me the couch while you watch Tampa Bay fucking go for 2 and win another fucking Super Bowl. All right, you're going to see the Bucs and the Chiefs dominate the league. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Winston does. Like I said, of course, there's going to be some, games that he'll play well. But with people knowing the lack of talent at wide receiver and crashing 8, 9, 10 in the box, all-out blitz, you know what I mean? You can't really count on a guy like that to make all the throws with a brand-new receiving core and especially a weak receiving core after MT. It's not looking good. I mean, I don't really see success written on that story anywhere. AK's great. Offensive line is fantastic, led by Ryan Ramczyk, but I mean, you got to have a little bit more than AK-41 and a line to be able to win football games in the National Football League. Facts. Facts, facts, facts. I'm back, baby. Let's talk NFL. Tim Tebow getting signed by the Jags. Will he make the 53-man roster? I hope so. Jesus is on his side, and so am I. Absolutely love him. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can, either on here, patreon.com/NWSF, or the GoFundMe. And if you're looking for merch, Northwest Sports Fanatic merch, link is below every video on the YouTube page. Follow me, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, on NW Sports Fanatics. And also, I follow all 32 teams. Most YouTubers and most people on social media, if they have a channel of their own, it's only for their team. I'm the only one that's out there on social media and on YouTube with an NFL presence that covers all 32. And not only do I cover all 32 with no bias. Tasha Mullins in the building. What to do? Yo, Ryan spits the facts, but Saints fans can't keep their mouth shut. Saints fans on the channel, cheap shot version of LeVar Ball bootleg. Oh, shit. Hey, you can be passionate about your team, but sometimes you got to be realistic. And if you're not realistic, you're not going to get respect. You know what I mean? People are going to talk shit about the fan base based off what is said, based off that fan base's reaction. So you can't be a good team forever. Every team goes through the ups and the downs. You know what I mean? At least Brute Saint, right, and at least Calvin Griffin have a little bit of sense in their bodies that they can be hardcore Saints to the day they die, but they know when the team has weaknesses, and when I call something out that is a weakness, it's not me talking shit about the organization and saying how horrible they are, you know what I mean, just like you would get from anyone else on, fucking social media or YouTube with that negative energy. I'm just saying what I see. I call what I see. I call it how I see it. You know what I mean? In the last 4 years, when you guys were Super Bowl caliber teams, did I say the Saints were trash and they were horrible and they have a bunch of garbage players? No. If anything, I gave them more credit than anyone, and I'm a Bucs fan. So there you go. That's facts. Tebow, Nick Bosa, Saquon, Dak, Wentz. Ooh, baby. Comeback player of the year. Tebow's not going to get it. All right. But Saquon and Dak, those are the two that I would probably put my money on. If Saquon can stay healthy, they might be able to make the playoffs. See, now you're saying a lot. Look at Nola. Nola, just, you know what I mean? Like, you need to just look in the mirror, right? No one as the Fanatic family members, even the Saints, Fanatics that are in the building, when they look at you, type that shit on the screen, you look like a fucking moron, all right? You're writing shit on there, right, that is nowhere near the truth. And if you truly believe that you're going to go 13-4, 12-5, you might be goddamn retarded. Like, you might have to go to the short bus. Because, fuck what everyone thinks, because they think you're a fucking idiot. Because no one on planet Earth, even fucking Sean Payton himself, knows that they're not going 13-4 and 12-5. You say dumb shit like that, you get no respect, and people are going to clown you. You know what I mean? It's not like they just don't give a shit about you or the Saints, but you make yourself a target by saying dumb shit. Even Tampa Bay, being the champs, is not going 13-4 and 12-5. I mean, we might go 12-5, maybe 13-4, but you guys aren't going there. We're talking about championship caliber team. Tampa Bay might go 13-4, 12-5 as the best team in the NFL. The Kansas City Chiefs might go 12-5, 13-4, or 14-3. You are no Kansas City Chiefs. You are no Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You are smoking crack, man. Stop making yourself look like a dumbass and a moron. I'm just trying to help you out. Because every time you write this dumb shit on the screen, you believe it. And that's what makes it frustrating, because you're not even trolling. You truly believe that you're going to go 12-5, 13-4. But that shows you some of us in the room know football, and some of us act like they know football. And you don't know football, my guy. You need to do a lot more research. Just because you go to the Saints Instagram and it tells you something doesn't mean that you're a fucking expert. You are not going 12-5 or 13-4. Even when your team was at its best point, you might not get that record. All right? See, even Brute Saint, he's a hardcore Saints fan. All right? You ain't going 13-4. The Buccaneers might not even go 13-4, or the Chiefs, and we're the best team in football. You're nowhere near us. Nowhere near. You're not even in the same stratosphere, my guy. Yeah, seriously. I'll get my left nut removed too if they get to 13 wins. Not fucking happening. Not in that division. You don't have Tom Brady. You have fucking Jameis Winston. Take a look in the mirror at your roster. Not the same team in the last 4 years. And even when you had a championship caliber team, you nutted up and choked every single year. No Super Bowls. Yeah, no one trusts you. Nola, I'm going to have to get you some medical attention, bro. Yeah, old enough to beat your ass. Old enough to fucking retire Breeze. Old enough to end your fucking dynasty. And in that 4 years, you didn't do shit. What did you do? How many NFC championship games? How many Super Bowls? Exactly. And if you really want me to bring it up, the only Super Bowl you did get, right, back in the day, right, back in that 08, 09, 010 run, what happened? You guys cheated to get it. You forget about that? Or were you even born then, Nola? Come on now. You remember that? Bounty Gate? Ring a bell? You talk about, Brady and Belichick cheating all the time. What about that? You did cheat. You guys put out bounties. See, you don't even know your own team, my guy. You guys put out a bounty for Brett Favre to pay money for every single player that they would injure, not only in that season, but for many seasons. For about 2 or 3 seasons with the D coordinator that you had. So if you don't even know that about your own team, all right, but you paid money to injure players on the other team, all right, you guys did cheat, all right. You guys got caught. There's a reason why it's called Bounty Gate, all right. There's other teams that do it, but you guys were the ones that got caught. So don't act like, everything was all hunky-dory when you guys were going for Brett Favre when he was on the Vikings, when they probably should have been the ones that went to the Super Bowl, all right? And if you didn't have Jeremy Shockey, you wouldn't have won the Super Bowl, all right? Come on now. But you guys were doing things. It wasn't a clean Super Bowl. You guys got a black eye. You guys got a black eye on that Super Bowl. You can ask other people of other fan bases. It wasn't clean. Patriots Super Bowls is definitely a little bit of a black eye. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. The perception outside the league, all right, is, a little bit of cheating there. It might not have been Deflategate or some of the other gates that were out there, all right? But Bounty Gate was there. Absolutely. I'm not saying that they weren't. Right? Bill Belichick is the biggest cheater of all time. We all know that. We all know that. Cash out. Let them know. See, I know about that, but we wasn't the only team doing it. But you cheated. Come on, man. See, you can't even admit guilt or admit fault. You always have to make excuses. Stop making excuses. Take accountability, right? Know that your team will be better down the road, all right? But you're not the same team that you were the last 4 years. That's facts. Only person in the NFL that I think genuinely can cover Pitts one-on-one and be successful, Devin White. He's big, ran a 4.37. I know I saw that. Pitts might be uncoverable, let's be honest. I mean, one-on-one, you got Bobby Wagner, you got, Darius Leonard, right? You got Fred Warner. He's sideline to sideline. I think those guys could cover. Fred Warner. Bobby Wagner's getting a little bit older, but he's still a stud. But Devin White, right? Fred Warner from the Niners, bang bang Niner game, Darius Leonard. Those are probably the only three that might be able to hang around with Pitts. But Pitts, could end up being a top 3 tight end this season. You got Kelsey, you got Kittle, you got Pitts, right? And then you still got Darren Waller from the Raiders and Mark Andrews. And then they assume that Dallas Goedert, since Zach Ertz more than likely will be gone, maybe to the Colts, that Dallas Goedert they had in the top 5 in Pro Football Focus over Mark Andrews, which I thought was kind of crazy. I think Jalen Hurts and Goddard could have a good connection, but I wouldn't say that Goddard today is better than Mark Andrews. You're smoking crack if you think that. But I think Goddard has a lot of talent, though. JT in the building, what to do? Yeah, Patriots definitely got a massive asterisk, but when it all said and done, Belichick's going to the Hall of Fame, and no one's really going to, bat an eye, and they're going to be like, oh, Deflategate, this or that, after years and years have passed. The NFL fans, we won't forgive, and we never will forget, right? But it's still going to be, he's still going to be honored, in the NFL circles. Just some people will have it listed a little bit differently.
Then we heard about Rocket Mortgage, and with just a few taps, you can turn your home's equity into cash. Consolidate your
Brute saying, agreed. Bill Belichick or the Houston Astros, they're both trash. The thing is I get it that you want to be great, and if you're not cheating, you're not trying. But, obviously the Dodgers ended up getting their World Series eventually, so that's fine. The Astros, their World Series doesn't count. That shit don't count at all. It shows you how desperate, every single athlete that's out there, NBA, right, NFL, hockey, NHL, MLB, even Lance Armstrong with his one nut. Anyone that you think is great, then you always have to think, oh, did they cheat? Because a lot of these people will do steroids or cheat because, they just can't win it naturally. That's why, I'm happy that Ken Griffey Jr. is my hero besides my dad. He was great for 10 years, right? He got injured for 10 years. He got fat, right? And then he retired. But he was the only guy in the steroid era that didn't cheat. So I can be proud of that, even though there's guys like Jose Canseco that follow me, on social media, John Cena and some of these other guys, But, Mark McGuire, Jose Canseco, Rafael Palmeiro, Sammy Sosa, all these guys that cheated over the years. I'm happy that Griffey didn't, so. Yeah, Astros, some fucking cheaters. The big time. Same thing with the Pats, man. And the Pats didn't even need to cheat. And it makes you kind of wonder when they won their first 3 Super Bowls by 3 points each, right, to the Rams, the Panthers. So in 2001, the Rams, 2003, the Panthers, 2004, the Eagles. They won by 3 in each one. And with them cheating, more than likely in all 3 games, they probably wouldn't have won all 3 Super Bowls. And that would have, maybe they still would have had a great team with Brady and Belichick, but a lot of the cheating came after those first 3 Super Bowls. A lot of the allegations, because they didn't get caught in 01, 03, or 04. And then my Bucks in 02, gang, we ended up beating the Raiders for Super Bowl 37. All right? And that's facts. Can't wait for the season to start. Can't wait to beat that ass. Can't wait to see you cry and make excuses. Because as soon as the Bucks end up beating the Saints, what are you going to say? Instead of saying, good job, Orion, good job, the Bucks were the better team, you're going to say, oh, the refs cheated us, Goodell cheated us, Brady cheated us, oh, it's a conspiracy, you know what I mean? That's why, Saints fans and you get a bad rap. Because you never can admit when you're wrong, and you can never shout out someone when they do something good. I can shout you guys out when you guys do good, but when you guys do bad, instead of saying that I did something well, right, you got to make excuses for why you lost, that we cheated, or Goodell had something to do with it. Get the fuck out of here with that. Get the fuck out of here with that. No class. All ass, no class, my guy. Exactly, Shriek. He'll make up excuses like he always does.
He didn't need much space to throw the ball.
Shit. Was I banging on trash cans? No, Calvin was the Calvin banging on trash cans. Calvin loves the Astros. Calvin loves the cheating mentality. It was sad, though, too, because, I mean, the Astros had something really special. Verlander, Altuve, they had so many great players. Correa, you know what I mean? Springer. So it's like you didn't want to have them be the cheaters, You just wanted to assume that they had something special out there. And then you find out with the trash can shit, It's just sad because every time you really love a player, a team, you're like, oh, Astros, good job. You beat me and my dad's Dodgers. And then you find out the lengths that they went to win. But everything comes out in the open eventually. So Roger Goodell ain't going nowhere. And, you can use him as an excuse all you want, but just be prepared, Nola. The season might not go the way that you think it's going to go. And you definitely are not going 13-4, 12-5. That might be the dumbest hot take I think I've seen anyone say. And, we're not even in preseason NFL yet, all right? We're not even in preseason yet. OTAs, training camp. You said the Saints are going to go 13-4, 12-5. I might have to write that one down for a joke, and then we'll see what the record is at the end of the year. I predict 8-9, 9-8. Your prediction is you still got Drew Brees and you still got all these players on your team, which you don't. So, cash out hybrid. How did who cheat? Who, the Astros or who? Well, of course, after the Saints lose to the Bucks, if that happens, instead of Nola saying good game, you guys were the better team, he'll say that the refs cheated them somehow. I mean, that'll be the normal excuse. I hear it all the time. Oh, the baseball team. Oh, they did the trash. You didn't see. You cash out. You read sports. Come on now. Astros, you watched it, didn't you? They hit on the trash can for different curveballs and sliders. So every time that they were going to have a certain pitch come out, there was someone that was in the crowd or part of the team that would hit on the trash can so that the players would know what pitch was coming, right? And that went to Game 7 with Yu Darvish, and they also had buzzers, on their bats and on their gloves, so that way they would know when to swing, at certain pitches. So that was, the ultimate cheat. I mean, we know Belichick, with Spygate and listening to, the play calls, shutting off the radios and the communications when you go to New England, which is a big cheat. Deflategate, deflating the footballs. But what the Astros did, I mean, they were so bold. They gave no fucks. They had buzzers, on the bats and on the gloves. They had the trash can thing. I mean, because if you know what pitch is coming in baseball, I mean, that's a huge advantage no matter how good the pitcher is. That's facts. Brute saying, I appreciate you. At least you're a real one, not like Nola. Nola will never be a realistic Saints fan, so. Yeah, I'll be here all season to roast your ass like I always do. And everyone in the room will laugh, and everyone will not give you the respect, and you'll be watching the NFL playoffs in 2021 from the couch. All right? And I'll laugh as hell if it ends up being the Buccaneers again, and if I end up winning the Super Bowl again. I'll send you a Super Bowl t-shirt, and you can switch teams. Go to a team that actually knows how to win. Mic drop. Gang. Right hand up was fastball. Right hand out was curve. Left hand up was slider. Shit. Cash out. Nola's always looking for excuses. That it's rigged, and then we're trying to win it Brady. They're trying to cater to Brady. Everything is rigged. You still got to go out there. Yeah, but the thing is, that's the problem. You're going to be me, but you look like a dumbass. I'm trying to protect you because you're my friend, all right? I talk to you almost on a daily basis, but you say some of the most asinine, dumb shit stuff in the chat, and it's one thing if you're trolling and you're trying to be funny, but you're not. You actually believe the shit that you're typing, and that makes you look like an idiot. I don't want you to look like an idiot or represent the Saints fan base as that idiot Saints fan. But that's what everyone sees when you type the shit that you type, because you truly believe the shit that you're typing on the screen. I'm trying to look out for you, so that way that you don't look like some moron, some dumbass. Because I know you're not a moron and you're not a dumbass, but everyone on the outside looking in, they think that you're a dumbass and that you're an idiot Saints fan. So I'm trying to help you out. So I'm trying to help you out, my guy. All right? Because this is the Northwest Sports Fanatics. All right? This isn't just like, occasional fan, on YouTube.com. All right? watch when I want to watch. Fair weather fan at YouTube. All right, this is the Northwest Sports Fanatics. All right, listen to who you're dealing with. We're dealing with people that watch all the games of their team, all the other teams in the league. All right, that watch all the superstars. You know what I mean? I wish you were trolling, but the sad thing is you're not, man. Man, I'm gonna have to get you some. I'm gonna have to get you some help, my guy. Yeah, but Shrick, you gave me shit before the Super Bowl, right? Right? And I gave you what, like one quote, right? I gave you one. How about them apples, right? After we won, but I didn't keep roasting you after that because I can be humble about it. I don't need to, talk shit over and over and over on how great the Bucks are. You know what I mean? Am I thankful that they fucking got to the Super Bowl and won? Hell yeah. But also, too, I mean, look how much bullshit that I had to go through. I was horrible from 2007 until last year. So, I mean, think about how many games and how many seasons that I went through watching my team win 2 games, 4 games, 6 games, 8 games. It was brutal. To have that hardcore mentality of loving your team and knowing that they're going to suck and the season's going to be over in October. You know what I mean? So I never rubbed it in. You talk shit to me. I gave you one little jab back, and then we, said good game. Look forward to seeing you next year, and we left it at that. And that's when you know that you have someone that really respects the football. So, yeah. I mean, you got to. Like I said, sometimes people can't see the difference between trashing and just spitting facts. Because the thing is, even though I'm a Bucks fan, and I'm the only Bucks fan on YouTube that actually wants the Saints to be a good football team, you let me know what other Bucks fan on planet Earth that actually wants the Saints to be a good football team. Because when the Saints are good, that's going to make the NFL better. You know what I mean? When the Jags are good and the Browns are good, that makes the NFL better. When the Saints are good, the rivalry will be better, right? The matchups between the Bucks and the Panthers and the Falcons will be sexier, and there'll be more, more fight, to be able to have that rivalry go their way. You know what I'm saying? But I want teams to have a good football team. I don't wish, horrible times for any football fan base. I was a Buccaneer fan, and I still am, and I went through one of the worst droughts of any fan of a football franchise. So, I got the love, for all 32 teams, and you're not going to get that really anywhere else. At least I haven't met anyone. That's facts. I want the Saints to be good. You're never going to hear a hardcore Buck fan, a bandwagon Buck fan, or any fan of the Bucks say, yeah, I want the Saints to be good. You're never going to hear it. Or you're never going to hear them say praise about the other team's good players, And I can do that because I love the league. Oh, man. Well, that's a great thing about the Saints, though, because I get to play them 2 times a year, and they get to play us, and it'll be fun. And then, like I said, after Brady leaves, we're going to be in the same book. We're going to be looking for that next quarterback, not to be the next Brady or not to be the next Breeze, but for someone to come in to be competitive, whether that be a Tannehill or a Kirk Cousins. That's what the Bucks and the Saints are going to be looking for, unless it's like a college quarterback, like Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma, Howell from UNC, Clovis from, USC, Emory Bates, from Florida. You're going to be looking for that next guy, that next Justin Fields to take over, and then once you get a guy, then, you got to hope that you have somewhat of a good career, but it probably won't be anywhere near Breeze or Brady. Trask Bay, yeah. Kyle Trask, I can't wait, man. But who knows? Who's to say that he'll be good enough to lead Tampa to the playoffs or an NFC championship game. Ryan Trick, let's be honest, Kyle Trask might be Andy Dalton. He might be better than Dalton, might be worse than Dalton, but if I have a good supporting cast and he's learning under Brady, I love it. I mean, it was the perfect fit, and I think Trask could be that dude. You know what I mean? I think he could be that dude, especially with all the talent that I got. Ian Book. Come on, Nola. God, you're going to give me a heart attack, bro. Ian Book. You didn't even know who Ian Book was. All right, before the draft. You're the guy that goes on Instagram as soon as the draft comes and starts looking shit up because you don't know who any of the guys are. Come on, Nola. You don't know anything about Ian Book. Besides what you read on Instagram on draft day, that he was Notre Dame's quarterback. That's it. Yeah, Kayvon Thibodeau, future #1 pick in the draft. I hope he doesn't go to the Houston Texans. But that's the dumpster fire. I don't think Ian Book is nowhere near Kyle Trask. I don't think Ian Book is a starter in this league. I don't think Ian Book, he'll probably never get a chance to start, to be honest. I don't think he's got the skill set to be an NFL quarterback. You got to think, to be an NFL starter, you got to be pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? I don't see Ian Book ever being an NFL starter long term ever. You know what I mean? He's a backup quarterback, right? He's a backup quarterback, but will he ever be a guy that could be a starter? I don't think so. Because even look at guys like Marcus Mariota, right, and Jameis. After one bad year with the Saints this year, Jameis might be a backup for the rest of his career until he's out of the league. Do you think anyone is going to give Jameis a shot if he has a bad season with the Saints? No. Marcus Mariota is on the tip, and he ended up winning a Heisman for Oregon. And if he doesn't go to a team like the Patriots, he might not ever be a starter in this league ever again. His options are running out, and Marcus Mariota is way better than Ian fucking Book. Let's be realistic, my guy. Ian Book ceiling, Chase Daniel, good comparison. But you got to be more specific to Nola, because Nola don't know who Chase Daniel is. He's like, let me do the Google search. Mizzou, Chase Daniel, backup. Let me look that up. Oh, Chase Daniel, that's who he is. Oh, yeah, Ian Book, Notre Dame. Yeah, but you so sold on him, you guys are going to go 13-4, 12-5. So you're going to lock up Winston for a 10-year extension, is basically what you're telling me. If Winston's going to go 12-5, 13-4. Yeah, Emory Jones, Lamar 2.0, but he ain't as good as Lamar. You know, he's kind of like Lamar and Taysom put together. He's a scrambling QB, can do a lot of things, but Rattler's a lot better from Oklahoma. Clovis from USC, has some potential. You know what I mean? But UNC with Howell, is decent. But I think Spencer Rattler, if you're going to look at quarterbacks for footage, you look at Oklahoma's, North Carolina's, and USC. Those ones are probably the top three. And then I think Jones is probably the fourth or fifth best quarterback, but he ain't no Lamar. He ain't not in that category. But I do like him. Though. Yeah, Shirk, you'll let me know once you end up watching the film, because you watch all the Gator games, so you'll let me know.
What's going on here? The standoff doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
Matt Castle.
Yeah, and I don't think they necessarily know in that building.
Spelled Castle wrong. Come on, Shrick. Come on, Shrick. Come on, Shrick. Spell Castle's name right. Give him some respect. Do a Google search on Castle. Don't spell his name wrong. Come on, man. You're supposed to be a Northwest sports fanatic. Cash out hybrid. My guy. Well, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Like I said, the bantering is always fun. I wanted to hop on and say hello, talk some Tim Tebow, talk some Saints, talk some Bucks. And like I said, I'll be back sooner than later. I'm going to be in the process of moving Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We're going to be going into a 3-bedroom. So I'll be able to have the studio room to myself. So probably by Monday, I'll be able to have everything set up properly, and I'll be back for another live stream on Monday. Like I said, while I do this moving process, the girlfriend's going to be helping move, taking a week off work. So we got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday through Friday next week to get everything kind of situated. So that'll be very exciting. So there'll be a lot more videos, reactions, just a lot more content once I get settled in. But I wanted to hop on today because I appreciate you guys and I love you guys, Fanatic family for life. NWSF Chain Gang in the building. Calvin Griffin, Ryan Schrick, Cash Out Hybrid, Nola, you crazy, but you still my boy. Matt Payton, all y'all. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back very, very soon, probably in the next couple days once I get moved. And like I said, make sure you guys take care. Be safe out there. We're finally, hopefully, getting closer with this COVID ending, and we're just right around the corner to OTAs, training camp, as we get also into preseason and then the regular season. I love you guys, appreciate you guys, and I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, the best fans on planet Earth. You guys, the Fanatic family. Even you, Nola, even though you might be delusional, still love you. You guys are the best. Peace.